This is emotion art. This is a place to relax, let somebody else tell the stories for a while, and just enjoy the emotional view. Every view I have of human emotions feels like art. That's why this is emotion art. Shout out to Buddy Anderson for all the original music and the great sounding audio. Check out his music on Spotify at From Another Mista. Thanks, Buddy. We appreciate you. And Angela. Thanks for all your help, your creative help, your editing help. I appreciate you. This is a conversation that I was very much looking forward to because it is with Carl, a awesome, hilarious, and good friend of ours from Dirt Road Brewing. He's always on a stage. He's always singing. He's always has an accent and a flair. He really appreciates life, and it just pours out of him. The conversation was hilarious, and I cannot wait to have another one. Carl, I freaking love your art. The world deserves to see it. Thank you for sharing some of it with me. All right, world travelers, enjoy.
Welcome to Emotion Art.
Emotion art, where we sit down and make art with emotion.
Emotion art.
Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression of feeling.
The emotion art.
Emotion art.
Emotion art.
Emotion because we are literally made of emotion. Art because everything we do wants to be art. Emotion art feels.
Emotion art. It's all beautiful. The emotion art. Emotion art.
A space for emotional art. Creative energy moving outward in conscious expression.
Emotion art.
An emotion art gallery.
This is emotion art.
You're welcome.
So how'd that go, man?
I normally hit
So
record
good to
before
see
right
you.
now. There were so many funny things that were happening. Why wasn't I recording? See ya. Bye forever.
Well.
That's a deep subject, but well said.
Now you mean as in deep as a well.
You were the one that brought up the subject of wells.
Because, well, you know, this empty word we sometimes say before a sentence, but I've always thought that it had like a jovial kind of comedic connotation anymore.
Is it deep or is it empty? Or is it both?
Well, it's a deep subject if you're talking about it being a well, yes?
I agree, but
Like
then
a
you
deep
just
level
said
or a high level?
Then you just said the empty word.
You
And
know,
I'm assuming
empty-
you're referring to well. So I'm asking, is it deep or is it empty or is it a mixture?
Empty might have been a misnomer in a way, because I don't think a well is an empty subject. Empty, nothing's truly empty.
But you weren't actually talking about the well, were you? You were talking about the word. So the word itself is empty. Okay.
So indeed, I have used the word well.
Oh my gosh.
And I've
have
diluted-
such an awesome, strong voice.
Well, you're very kind, sir.
Yeah. Your voice is strong enough that you could probably move the microphone slightly down.
Oh, yeah?
Give the camera a little more love.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So
Do
you
we
know
need
what?
to go
Who
over
cares?
anything
Who
right
cares?
now?
Oh, we could go over anything you want to. But if you mean like
Production-wise.
Okay. In case of fire, there is one exit right there.
Okay. Good.
Also, there are windows everywhere.
Okay.
So good luck breaking them.
Okay. Are they tough?
They're frosted.
Oh. How highbrow.
It's more of like a privacy for massage
Well,
clients,
right.
I think.
Again, another connotation of a term like well, highbrow. The last
Okay.
time I used the term highbrow, actually describing something that was, what is it, fancy?
I would say that's a fair.
Like highbrow, like you're
Mhm.
lifting your eyebrows. Oh, yeah, okay. I get it now. Like
Okay.
but that's almost a whole visage. Because when you raise your brow.
Okay, is highbrow then similar to saying looking down your nose at somebody?
I think there's a lapse.
So it's someone who sees themselves as well-to-do.
Is that it?
Sees themselves as intelligent, maybe?
Oh,
Okay.
sure. Well, if you're highbrow and you're looking down your nose at people. But why that? Why that? Why look down your nose at somebody?
I think it's a description of a posture that someone takes when they are feeling superior, which actually is interesting because have you ever read a book called The Courage to be Disliked?
No.
It's a conversation between a philosopher and a student.
Cool.
Talking about Joseph Adler, Adlerian psychology,
aka
Adlerian philosophy, if it had been in a different era. And
I should have done my homework.
The whole concept of it, I do the homework for people. I read because I read the books I cannot.
I appreciate that greatly.
I can't help myself. And Mary was like, Michael, you should read The Courage to be Disliked. So I was like, Mary, did you just recommend a book to me? She was like, I did. Like,
which is awesome though.
I ordered it that minute.
I love it. I love it.
And since I listen to books, I listen to it pretty quickly.
So let's talk about this.
So Adlerian psychology has the core concept of it is that instead of having top-down relationships, instead of having vertical relationships where you have parent to child, the parent is above, the child is below, teacher to student, all of the different relationships, Western culture style, are all vertical, boss, employee. Even within families like husband, wife, there's so much verticalness inside there. And although the husband might be vertically above the wife in some things and the wife vertically above in other things, it's still a vertical relationship. And so Adlerian psychology is an attempt to shift all relationships, basically says all human problems are interpersonal relationship problems when you break them down. And the solution is to change our relationship model from vertical, top down, to horizontal, where we're all
I love that. That's
equal.
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, everyone's bringing something to the table. Agency's the same.
Why was I holding my breath for that whole thing? Whew, I ran out of oxygen.
Hey, that was I learned something. I was very eloquent.
Problem is...
Oh, no, there's a catch. I knew it.
Well, there's always a catch in personal development or enlightenment because everything is too easy. The catch is that it's too easy.
Too easy for like easy come, easy go with realizing something?
It must not be that simple. Like, for instance...
But sometimes it can't. Okay, go on.
Your reality is what you believe it to be. You look around you and you see a horrible world. It's because you're creating a horrible world in your consciousness, in your subconscious.
Sure. Yeah.
It's too easy to say, just change the stories you're telling if you don't like the environment you're living in. You can't look to anybody else to change it for you.
But sometimes it is that easy.
It's always that easy.
Right.
That's the catch, because humans want something complicated. We want
Michael, that
something,
doesn't seem like much of a catch.
Oof, but it is one of the best hiders. It's a trail. It's a hidden trailhead because it's too easy. That's how it always was for me, and that's how it is for a lot of people I talk to.
Right.
Like, for instance, in Adlerian psychology, they say, don't rebuke. Just don't rebuke. There's never a time where one human should rebuke another human, ever. A parent should never rebuke a child.
As in...
A teacher should never rebuke a student.
As in, what's the definition of rebuke that we're using here? As in belittling someone's statement?
In any way suggest that what you're doing is wrong.
Denying agency?
Exactly. And that's where they're getting at with all of this, because it's
I dig it.
The difference between a self-reliant human, which most people are not self-reliant, even though we believe we are, but not only do not rebuke, but also do not praise. No rebuke,
interesting.
No praise, because both of those foster a vertical relationship.
I like this.
Because praise can only go from a superior to an inferior, only.
So is there a better term for the word praise here? Because, it's nice to give credit to where credit's due.
And if you do, you will create somebody who is not self-reliant, because they will be out there doing what they do, looking for approval that they got when they were a child.
So there are many of these relationships then, I'm surmising, that have attempted the Adlerian horizontal function. But even when you get to that point and you start, oh, hey, good job, all of a sudden that axis starts to flip, and then that person's like, oh my goodness, the seesaw has gone up on my side. I shouldn't be here. Should I inflate ego? I mean, that's a heavy term to drop into it, but how are we balancing these scales then? And like, where are the spikes of excitement? This is interesting because what I've just done in my brain, talking to you about this wonderful subject, is, first of all, I love the idea. I
have a book you should read.
I should read this. What was it called again?
I'm
ordering
Courage.
it right now.
The Courage to be Disliked.
Well, even in the name.
By I don't remember his name. Ichiri? Ichiri? I think that's his first name. Ichiri.
Right.
Koma.
But not Itchy Scratchowitz.
No.
From All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Is that seriously one of the dogs in All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Yeah, Dom DeLuise voicing.
Dude, I remember watching. I don't remember anything about that movie. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Oh,
but I remember being so sad, like bawling my eyes out. And I don't even remember. I don't know why. I don't know what's sad about it. Imagine somebody dies. That's sweet.
Well, there was that, and this is a sidebar at this point, but
all conversations are sidebars.
There was that whole like entourage of movies that weren't Disney, like the Don Bluth stuff, like your Troll in Central Park, your Rats of Nim, Thumbelina, where they were dark.
I've read the book Rats of Nim.
Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Yeah. And then there's like a sequel. There's like a couple, 3 of them maybe.
Whoa.
I know there's at least 2.
Wow.
I say that.
Was it good?
Fantastic.
Oh, I bet.
As a little, as a preteen.
Oh, sure.
It's dark. It's dark.
Do you ever revisit?
Think Watership Down.
Oh, see? Oh, man.
Rats of Nim. I mean, it's way less dark. It's way less morbid than that. But it's just a dark thing.
So when's the last time you felt compelled to revisit something that impacted you as a child in the media? Like The Rats of Nim, Mrs. Frisbee, which is the book. The movie was The Secret of Nim, is what they called it.
The Secret of Nim. Yeah.
Secret of Nim.
I don't know. I think I've watched it, but it did not leave an impression on me.
Oh man, not even when the owl's head like turned around and all of its neck muscles were.
Bro, I read the book.
Oh yeah, the book was probably way better. Yeah, never mind.
How can you enjoy the movie after the book?
You still own the copy?
Negative.
Oh man,
I do not have that book that I know of.
Anyway,
so
go on.
The original book topic.
Yes.
Courage to be disliked.
Yes. What a great sidebar. The courage to be disliked, because I like this concept.
By the way, you did ask me a question there, and I will answer that question. What movies? I think you specifically said what movies influenced me as a kid. I was raised virtually without media of any type.
Oh.
Without books.
And I don't know much about this young...
Except the Bible.
Sure. This young formative years of Michael.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn about them. But when I remember I watched the first movie that we went to with my dad after we left the cult that my parents joined, the Jim Roberts group, was The Bear. First movie I saw in the theater.
The Bear?
The Bear. We saw it pretty recently, and it's actually a really good movie. It's just about a little bear cub. Huh. And the movie starts out with his mom. There's like grizzly bears up in Alaska or something. I don't know. His mom's like rooting around under a hillside of rocks for honey, and then there's a rock slide, and she gets buried.
Oh, damn.
And then the whole movie is this little bear cub on his adventures across the Alaskan wilderness.
So, sidebar. What's the first, knowing this upbringing, what's the first rated R movie you remember seeing? And how old were you?
I don't have this memory. I don't know.
It could be yesterday. It could be 10 years ago.
No, I've definitely been watching whatever I want since I was like in my 20s.
Good.
Like R. Probably wasn't really watching like anything above R, like NC-17 or X at that point.
Sure.
Yeah. I have a lot of guilt about that kind of stuff.
Guilt is a phantom emotion. You know this.
All emotions are.
Indeed. Well, yeah. Feels
So,
so necessary.
The Bear is the first movie we saw in the theater. But one time, I was staying with there were some people after my dad left. We were living in Coquille, and we would stay at these people's house. And I could be mixing up locations, but I remember they had a movie on cassette that was, I believe it was An American Tail.
Oh,
so we watched it
Fievel.
probably 7 times in a row.
Was it American Tail
The original.
Fievel Goes West? Or
No. They didn't have Fievel.
It's when
An American
to
Tail.
America. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
And I still have a soft spot for that movie.
It's a good movie.
Another one that I had that opportunity with different people was Bambi. I watched that movie so many times.
Bird.
And looking back, I can see that the depth of emotion it stirred in me is because I saw myself in Bambi so fully.
Whoa. At what
my
age?
Goodness. My whole life.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Trying to walk.
Like, okay, Bambi.
Meeting all these cool woodland creatures.
Just lost.
Oh, sure.
Lost.
Huh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then the other thing, now that I'm talking about things I identify with, what's that Holocaust girl?
Anne
Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Anne Frank, boy, when I was in my, meddle teens, 13, 14.
Required reading in many middle school curriculum.
I mean, because I was literally living trapped in houses in inner cities and like not allowed to listen to music, not allowed to read anything but the Bible. So I identified with that. Yeah, I think those are pretty much, that's all that comes to mind for movies that I identified with growing up.
That's a good set, man. That's a good set.
So
digression though.
Oh, and then the Goo Goo Dolls, song. I give up forever to touch you.
Oh yeah.
Nope. I'm sorry. I had the wrong song.
Bro,
it's the one where it's just basically like
Goo Goo Dolls.
The Goo Goo Dolls. The Goo Goo Dolls. Yes, the Goo Goo Dolls. Okay. But it's the song about. Oh, I know. No. It's not that one. I love the Goo Goo Dolls though. It's letters that you never meant to send, lost and blown away.
Ooh, this one's not coming to memory, but I like it.
You grew up way too fast, and now there's nothing to believe. Our reruns all become our history.
Ooh, profound.
A tired song keeps playing on a tired radio, and I won't tell no one your name. Yeah. It's all about how
good work.
Basically all of your intentions are blowing in the wind, and nothing is happening the way you thought it would. But I won't tell anyone your name. Like I've got you. Like I don't know. It gave me such a sense of like bittersweet peace.
So this idea of not sharing the name, apparently
that's the name of the song.
Anonymity. Oh, name.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Anonymity.
I don't know. It just gave me the feeling of support of like, you know what?
Thing.
You know what the feeling is? Looking back, it's the feeling of me supporting myself.
Sure. You
little
interpret
baby
it
of it
in a way that
little baby version
that edified you in a way.
Yes.
Which
it was a comfort.
Absolutely. And that's actually what's really cool about some of those old songs and old movies. And didn't mean to make this turn out to be like the media version of emotion art.
Welcome to the media version of emotion art.
They're old friends.
They are.
Old friends, these old things that and it sometimes seems silly when you watch the next time, if ever you watch American Tail, you're just gonna be like, oh man, yeah, I can see why I like this as a kid.
Of course.
But you probably won't be like engrossed in it. Like I
might be engrossed in the memory of the emotions.
Was Tiger in that one? The orange cat?
Probably. I don't know. I was gonna say, shit. I just freaking drew a freaking blank.
It's all right, man. Should I draw one too?
No, I was, yeah. Oh, blank check, please. Let's do it.
Blank check.
You want to trade blank checks?
As in
Signed, pay to the order of
Oh, man.
amount, question mark, blank check.
Ooh, fun game. I'll have to dig out my checks.
Yeah, same.
They're in a little blue Oregon State.
It's all
Federal
cracked. The
Credit
old
Union.
plastic is
Yeah,
all
that
so old
one.
it's cracked. Yeah.
And the checks are 001,
And our kids are like,
002.
what is that?
And if you ever wrote one, you like tried to flip to one that was actually like 1 or 010, just like, oh yeah, this is definitely not the first check I've written.
Dad, are you a caveman? Yeah, these are things I hear.
Because you haven't.
Why are you here?
What?
I live here. Been gone for work.
Wait, tie this all together.
Okay, one more story
Okay.
because you just got me reminiscing.
Good. I love it.
And so I wanted to say the Goo Goo
And
Dolls.
reminiscing. Yeah, let's get this Google Dolls
The
thing.
Goo Goo Dolls. The reason that I have the affinity with the Goo Goo Dolls is because the one thing I was allowed to do is I was allowed to listen to a band called De Vacus, which was a
Man, you're talking some deep cuts.
De Vacus is a Orthodox Jewish singing Hebrew from the Bible. That's like they, and it's klezmer, it's that kind of European, accordion and, bouncy music and stuff, but it's the Bible in Hebrew. And that appealed to the sensibilities of the cult I was in. So I was allowed to listen to those cassette tapes on a Walkman.
Nice. Was it yellow?
And if you peel the tape back when you are buried inside of your sleeping bag late at night, you can switch it from play to FM.
Radio?
And when you're in
man.
Seattle, you can go to
Seattle?
whatever the end of the dial is. That's the alternative station back in the
man.
90s.
Is that the first one that came on? First one that struck
That's
your
what I always
heart
looked
chords?
for was alternative. And the Goo Goo Dolls were on there.
Dude,
and
what a
Porno
great-
for Pyros, Jane's Addiction, with Smashing Pumpkins, all that stuff. That's and I'm like inside because we're 30 people in the house. I'm like have a little spot on the floor and I'm like tucked in there with my little headphones on, playing my De Vacus tape like a saintly little cult member.
Just a model little
Just being overcome.
kid, little cult member.
Just being overcome with emotion, just
You would have
coursing
been.
through my nerves.
Because you would have been getting away with something.
Oh,
You
music
would have
was
been
just
like overjoyed with being able to listen to this new media.
the way the sounds go together.
And you had your little
What it grabs inside
your
you.
little room. You had your little room in these headphones
Yeah.
listening to Seattle FM radio.
I don't think it felt like a room. It just felt like open space. It felt like I stepped out of the room.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. So all this
Wow.
from Joseph Adler, which is my new favorite book at the moment.
This is the one.
And it's crazy because it's putting language to all of the things that I've been just exploring from my gut, deep emotion.
It's actually a lovely concept. And I have listened to a few. I don't listen to podcasts very often. Yeah, I do like the usual suspects that Nicole and I listen to when we drive around, like the Stuff You Should Know,
I've checked
Office
that one out.
Ladies. I listened to a couple of yours. And by the way,
Yes. Oh,
congratulations, man. This
score.
is great. You've done
Yes.
something amazing
Thank you,
here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just so fun.
Good.
But I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. But this,
And I love that I'm sitting here doing it with you.
oh man, I'm so honored.
You're so funny.
I really feel like
I'm going to
I
praise
didn't-
you
I
because
didn't
I'm
know-
better than you.
I didn't know.
Sorry.
Hey,
Your turn.
No, that's funny. Sidebar, because now you're using these functions
Mm.
of like, oh, I'm totally gonna compliment you later.
But don't.
You're gonna hate it.
Don't allow yourself to be derailed. Oh, I'm just going to deflect.
Oh, I'm derailed. We're already in the sidebar. Anyway, some of the themes that I listened to.
Oh, I was going to. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
was sidebar away, my friend.
Just being a brat.
I love being a brat. Being a brat's fun. Sidebar, when's the last time you were a brat before that?
The moment before it. There's a little part inside me that's a brat all the time.
Just like wanting
Wanting to just
You
pull
should
that
brat
reaction.
out.
Hell yeah.
So
Dude,
is
I'm
that
getting there. I'm
bratty?
getting there. I don't know. Let's define brat. I mean, we could spend the rest of all time trying to define the words out.
You are
because
true.
Guess
You
what,
are
my
right.
friend? You hit on a really deep topic earlier about the empty word.
Yes, the word empty.
Because the truth is that, the word wow is an empty word. It is a collection of sound vibrations that actually don't mean anything.
Right. That
But we have
used to delineate
the only reason it means something.
a feeling or a term over time. Because we've assigned value to it as those connotations.
The only reason that collection of sounds means something to you is because you have an archetype.
Indeed.
A collection of feelings
Right.
built over your entire life. Every emotion you've had about that particular word makes the archetype of what it means to you. And since your life's different than mine, I can't possibly have the same archetype.
Indeed.
And so every single word is made up
Absolutely.
different to me
And
than to you.
And it's lovely because the swings of these emotional ties
Just get to play.
are different. The connotation is different.
Yes.
It's really fun when you use a word that someone might have a different connotation for.
That's every single word you use.
Yeah, I guess so.
So.
Should we start
So it's just a collection of
So.
syllables. It means
So.
nothing. So
Now, are you saying so dot dot dot?
I'm not. I'm just saying so.
Oh.
So.
So. Should we use another phonetic term for the word so? Can we challenge ourselves for the
Carbuncle.
carbuncle? So, carbuncle
Spatula.
is going to be hard because so is a single syllable term.
Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
No, now I'm just
Let's
quoting
start
that bus
using
song.
the term what bus song?
You haven't heard the bus song?
Does it talk about tuberculosis?
Oh, I see you're waiting for the bus. Well, yes, I'm waiting for the bus. Have you noticed that lady over there? Yes, I have. Have you noticed her hair? What? Yes, I have noticed her hair. What would you call that hairstyle? Well, I guess maybe a bouffant. Bouffant. Could you say it's a bulbous bouffant? Well, yes, bulbous bouffant. Blubber macadamia gazebo.
Carbuncle.
I added that one.
Oh, that was a good one. Where'd you pull that one
But
out of?
this is the episode where I'm singing a lot. What the hell is going on?
I don't know, man. I
But
dig
after
it,
this,
though.
we're definitely listening to the bus song because it's so hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
It kind of reminds me of like Sesame Street. Like I'm imagining I'm watching a Sesame Street thing, but it's just playing with fun words. So fun.
So it's a bus stop.
Yeah, it's just a dialogue between some strangers at a
What's
bus
so
stop.
funny
And they
is
start singing
strangers
words.
don't really talk anymore.
Oh, pff.
Like in
When
fact,
I'm around, they do.
The next time I'm at the bus stop, I'm going to walk up to the person, whether or not there's a lady over there or any person. Actually, it works better when there is a person we're talking about.
A little bit.
Otherwise, the stranger will just be, oh, I don't know
Carl,
what
it
you're
doesn't
talking
matter what
about.
you say. People love when you break their bubble.
Oh, I dig it, man.
They are so
freaking out the
uncomfortable.
squares since
It gets uncomfortable.
1988. Oh, it's awesome.
But at the end of the day, they walk away taller with like this little bit of joy just like trickling off their skin. Like
Yeah.
a mist. It's incredible.
No, there are times because is this what being a brat is? Is just eliciting an
Absolutely.
experience with someone with the hopes that later on
Okay.
when they're sitting
Mhm.
at their living room and they go, huh, babe, you know what? Someone said the strangest thing to me today. It was
I
about
feel
a buffoon
happy
at a
to be
bus stop.
alive.
I just can't believe anybody would say that. I feel happy to be alive.
When I get
And that could be it. It was just that one moment that was tethered to the
Exactly.
future from a present. And maybe one day when they're reaching in the refrigerator and it makes them laugh, it's all worth it.
Carl, time's not real.
Time isn't real.
Okay.
Let's hash this one out,
Okay,
Michael.
no. We are way too far afield. We were talking about Adler.
We were talking about Adler.
And so we have,
And
since
this
then,
book-
it's been trailhead after trailhead. So back to
great.
Adler, if there's any, because there is one more thing to say about it from
Indeed.
me. But I think you were talking. Okay, fine.
Well, if we digress, we were
And-
talking about making
To be
these-
sure.
these emotional relationships flat.
Yeah, horizontal. And people
Does
always
flat have a negative connotation?
It does, and but it's the connotation that everyone's mind goes to because Western culture says that if it's not a top down, that this is the nihilism. Adlerian psychology feels like nihilism because it's like, oh well, then I guess nothing matters, and it's like, what has happened to you in your life that you jump from? I want to be on equal footing with every single person that I interact with every day of my life. To I don't give a fuck about anyone around me, because that's what the Western mind hears. I don't care.
Well, it's like
so I try not to say those words.
Well, it's confusing dispassion with not caring. I mean, you can go around without carrying the weight of a passion or a need to do something emotionally that you might not want to.
Yes.
I'm dispassionate about many things. In fact, in my opinion, when you think of this spectrum of love and hate, and there's so much energy that it takes to feel love or hate, but isn't really what you're trying to attempt to do when you hate something is to just not feel it at all. And isn't that absolute zero, net zero dispassion? But even that has a negative connotation.
I don't know.
To use dispassion.
I don't know that I'm following your emotions with mine, but what I'm hearing you say is that hate and love are on opposite sides of a spectrum. And I believe that hate and love are not only on the same side of the spectrum, I believe they're basically conjoined twins. Like they're almost exactly the same thing. And the opposite of either hate or love is apathy.
Indeed.
And that is zero.
I think so. Your dispassion is apathy.
Apathy.
Aha.
Nihilism.
I am not adverse to at all this this chart in which love and hate are conjoined twins.
I mean, they just are. And how quickly can love turn into hate when jilted, you know?
Well, in a way, the spectrum is because they're conjoined in the way. I use the term spectrum because the amount of energy to do one is the same amount of energy to do the other.
And everything's a spectrum of light, literally.
Yeah, we need to get our visuals down. We went from a vertical thing, we went to our horizontal, and now we're back in picturing these emotions as we're trying to be evocative and describe them side by side, which is impossible.
Everything's emotion.
It's all in the same...
It's impossible to fully describe anything.
The same thing. I can dig that.
Yeah, sort of. Yes.
Adlerian.
The second Adler book, because
there's a second?
It gets better, my friend.
So it's like the Fievel goes west of the American tale.
Mm-hmm. The student returns.
Oh, no.
To challenge the philosopher.
To challenge?
Mm-hmm. Because the story is written, the conversation is written between a philosopher in his study and a youth who has just entered the education field. So he's a teacher. He gets all up, like, excited. The first conversation happens over like several visits, and over time the youth is like, he's a complete critic, and he's like challenging everything, and he's, you know, pompous youth, whatever. And the philosopher, it's you know, they do a good job with it, but you can tell that it's what they're trying to do. It's like the patient Adlerian who nothing can flap, and then this impetuous youth that just is full of spit and vinegar.
Challenge everything.
And then he comes to the end of it, and he's just like, I am going to take this to my classroom, and I am going to change the world, starting with my classroom. And he goes off all idealized. And then the second book is The Courage to Be Happy.
Whoa! And so the courage to be disliked, the courage to be happy, which I still would like to even sidebar and digress to get back to just that idea of the courage it takes to not be liked. Like, where's this need that everyone needs to please everybody and their fathers? That's a fallacy that we should have gotten rid of in high school.
It's what comes of a rebuke and praise upbringing.
What?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the Adlerian
Courage
concept.
to be happy now.
Courage to be happy. This brand new fledgling educator returns one last time. And he's like, this is the last time I'm going to visit you. And I'm here to tell you that you ruined my life. You
ruined his life.
You're peddling a bunch of trash. And I'm going to tear your arguments apart, and you are going to apologize to me before the end of this. Because again, he's this impetuous youth that has to, be the nemesis for the wise. And
is there a timeline of age difference here?
Yeah, the philosopher is obviously an older guy, and the youth is obviously young.
Right.
I'd say probably mid-20s to late 40s is the spread.
Double.
But anyway,
double age.
It's just my imagination.
Sure.
So then the whole second book is one conversation where the youth is trying to tear it down. And he's saying, how can this work? This is what actually happened in my classroom. The entire, not using rebuke. I've lost control of everything. And he just brings it all, just tries to nail him on every single one of the arguments. And they just progress through the whole thing. And of course it's set up, it's written from the perspective of trying to, I don't know, can you truly straw man your own argument? I don't know, but they do a decent job of the play acting. And by the end of it, it's basically the courage to be disliked is also the courage to be happy.
Oh, sure. So once again, we have these two different concepts that are intertwined very closely. Again, yeah, I can imagine if one had this perpetual need to be liked, that would be exhausting.
We all do. To varying degrees.
I'm paid to do it for my job. It's a
spectrum. Well,
it's not how I feel,
isn't
really.
That nice? You get paid to try to make people like you, Michael, for your job. I'm not saying you get paid a lot. I'm saying...
I'm a doctor, by the way.
Hold on. I have a question.
Okay.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Yeah, it's hard. It's tough, but I enjoy it. And
I hear you saying there are parts of it that you enjoy.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, hello, Carl.
Oh, hey, Michael. Man, I love what you've done with this place. This is great.
It's so great to sit here with you.
I'm so happy to be a part. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thanks for coming.
Show.
Just thank you for taking your time to come. I really appreciate it.
A little backstory. I have always kind of been the sidelines of the Avery goings on. Actually, I remember when I first moved to Philomath and actually started working at my current place of work.
Where do you work?
Dirt Road.
Dirt Road Brewing in Philomath, Oregon. Yes.
I vividly remember.
The only people that listen to this are people basically in Corvallis and Philomath and Portland.
Well, they're going to dig it. Well, hey, friends.
I want to be hey, we got nothing to hide at Dirt Road.
So I'm a fresh Oregon face. This is about 5 years ago. And...
welcome to Oregon.
Thank you so much. I'm a Philbilly at heart, but I've been all over the place. And I remember you and yours walked in and you were all in costume.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Usually.
And at the moment, I didn't have any backstory yet. I didn't know about you and Ange and Bonnie and the kids. I was like, oh, this is it. This is the Oregon thing. People are dressed up. They're being weird. I love it.
Wait, how long had you been in country?
Dude, by the time I met you, I had only been here in a month. Mm. No, your family is one of the first people that I served at Dirt. And I remember a couple days later, you folks came in, not in costume. And I remember you sat down at bar 9, which is the stool at the end of the counter.
Bar 9.
And you looked at me and you're like, hey, how are you doing? And how did you get roped into all of this?
All of this being working at Dirt Road?
I guess. And yeah, that's essentially how I met you folks. And since then, I've been present mildly in some parties, but I have always looked at what you folks have accomplished with an admiration and an impression. and kind of an about time that there's a family of people who are doing something like this. Not podcasts.
Your camera is right here.
Oh, not podcasts.
You can look at my camera if you want. Oh, that's creepy.
That
I'm
was
going to have to cut that part
creepy.
out.
Cut it all out, man.
It's creepy. I don't like creepy on here.
You don't want creepy?
Okay, but I want to know what you're talking about. What is the it? It's about
The
time.
it?
What is the it that's about time?
The about time that there was a family that wasn't this dad, mom, kids, religion, construct, live here in this house. It was an actual attempt and getting of emotion and hopefully a betterment of life. And I always thought there was something a little strange. Not saying that all the people who have unmixed families.
You're still up here.
I'm not good on camera, guys.
This is my first
Oh, right. This is the dress rehearsal.
full recording. Yeah. So you're a first. Thank you. And by the way, you're probably going to be episode 24, if I'm guessing.
24. So what do you want to talk about?
You.
Oh, man.
That was a really good start. I was totally starting off completely unseriously, and then you took it to a serious place, and that's fantastic. Good job.
I love you
That's
guys.
usually my job.
I love you guys. I'm just a
but I am
guy who
wondering.
you see every time, sometimes when you go into Philomath, but I admire you and your family, and I'm just happy and proud that I get to be a part of you guys' life during things like these. See, I'm learning, not looking at this camera yet, and parties, etc. I'm just seeing you guys out and about.
Parties. I think you may be the most joyful person working at a brew pub. Is Dirt Road is it classified a brew pub?
It's a brew pub, yes.
I just want to say, I cannot wait. So now that it's expanded to the other side,
yeah,
and you have a space for live fucking music,
oh, dude, we have been rocking and
and
rolling.
I'm guessing do you have any stand up like stand up comedy type stuff?
No,
Not yet.
we were already talking about it
because
it's
I just
a venue.
want to
It's
say
an event
that
space. We
I
can
have
do anything there.
Do you think that Chuck would let a
Yes.
15-year-old rock some stand up comedy?
Absolutely.
You think so? Charlie Twain.
I think we should just set up a mic in our speaker system.
Would you do it?
And just do it.
Would you MC that shit?
Yeah. Not like it'd be
No.
hard.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking of how comfortable that would be for Charlie, because
yeah.
you, my friend, are somebody who puts people at their ease in an intense way.
Aw.
No, that's
Whoa.
why you're so good at your job, is
Interesting.
because it's like. Have you watched the movie
Bible Goes West?
Jim
one of
and
my
Andy?
favorites. Jim
Jim and Andy with Jim Carrey? It's the documentary about the making of Man on the Moon.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Andy Kaufman movie.
Yeah.
Okay, in Jim and Andy, Jim says that there came this point when he was this young actor where he was like super depressed and like couldn't figure anything out, and then he's just like, "What do they want?" And then he realized they just want to feel. How did he put it? Unencumbered. They want to feel like all the worry of the audience. The audience.
Okay.
He's like, what do they want? They want to feel free. They want to feel free from all the restrictions and so he just became that character where it's just like he thumbs his nose at everything and just was himself. Like,
which is great.
Devil may care.
Yeah.
And
refreshing.
That's how you make people feel. You make people feel free. Even when you're having, like last time we were in there, you were like on your second day, very little sleep, whatever. You were exhausted and you were dancing around to the kitchen, doing whatever, singing
Good
like
music
show
was
tunes
playing,
or something,
man.
like whatever. And you're just like, that's
Shout
how you
out to
deal with
freedom.
tiredness. Because guess what? Everyone feels tired all the time.
Right.
What
right.
people want is to see somebody that's unaffected by the drudgery, that is free.
Well, let's keep a little optimism here, Michael.
That feels like pure optimism.
Well, it was pure optimism. And yeah.
And you like to deliver that to people.
All
right.
So to digress, to saying, I love my job. It's a livelihood.
Yes.
I get to interact with people.
It shows.
If there's any negative connotation regarding it, it's just that there's some plaque buildup in the service industry that just happens in your head for the course of decades.
Yes.
Which is everybody's job, yes.
And I started out as a server.
Oh,
which
you
isn't
get
the
it.
same as what you do, but it's just like the service industry is demanding. Like it sucks the life out of you because you are energetically, you're interfacing with strangers all day long and you have to be open to their energy to a certain degree. And that's exhausting.
And that does take a lot of energy in itself.
It does.
Yes,
It does.
It does.
And there's a really simple trick that actually makes that really easy. You can imagine that you have an aura around your body, an energy aura that's like 6 inches out from your body.
Sure.
Or a foot out. Doesn't
Or
matter.
more, yeah.
Doesn't
Depends.
matter. You make it as big as you want it. Make it as small as it can be on your skin. Now, make it slick.
Oh, yeah.
Make it so that all of this energy coming from every person around you slides right off.
Well, I mean, you don't have to store energy. I mean, you have to interact with it at a certain point and let those electrons and valence actually interact, or it's unauthentic. But I get it. It's
You can still interact with it.
it's
but it
slicking
can no longer-
around. It's the bubble of the auras
Yes.
just kind of.
And when you're slick, you interact with people's energies on your terms because every single one of those customers, they want to force you to interact on their terms.
And that actually
Energetically, no one knows
Yeah.
that they're doing like it's all subconscious unless you're an energy worker, then you can see it.
an energy worker.
Correct.
Is
Somebody who believes in and works with energy.
Oh.
Because it's just a practiced it's like any of your senses. If you practice, you start practicing, you start using it. Like magic is a real thing. And you can really actually look at the world around you and see this underlying structure.
Absolutely, and that's actually one of the benefits of working in the service industry and interacting with hundreds of people a day, is because your mind and your heart and your soul are gathering all this data on how to interact with people, no
Yes.
matter where they are in their life or day or week, to the point where you get a sense for it. Sometimes someone will walk in, they'll be a complete stranger, and I'll already know exactly what they need just by body language, maybe voice.
Call it whatever you want. The energy workers will call it
Right.
intuition, clairvoyance,
And
whatever.
It does take practice.
Yes.
Indeed.
Mhm.
In fact, it's actually it's gotten to a fun party trick where I've been able to time when I think to-go orders are arriving and let the food runners know that they should be out here at this point. And sure enough, someone walks in right away and gets their grub. It's a fun
Yeah.
party trick for the kids, but they'll figure it out one day.
And it is a lot of sixth sense stuff. You've done it so long that you just know. But where does that come from? Subconscious knowledge.
Experience, yeah.
It's something.
Yeah, you know what?
That's why I like
Actually,
reading
good
books.
point. Good point. Because I guess there is a device, a part of our perception that is inherently just a person observer. It's a stranger observer. It feels how you feel, and you're able to interpret someone's needs and wants in the moment just by reaching that aura out past that
Are you
6
able?
inches or a foot.
Are you able to access that awareness inside you that is a people observer?
I think so.
Are you able to look through that part of yourself at yourself? Are you able
Not
to
as
observe
well.
the you that is a people?
Not.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say so.
Okay.
Can't say so. I feel like I should be able to, and maybe I just need to wrap my head around the question a little bit more, Michael. But not as well. Actually, it's a good question. Is regarding
A very strong disassociative will violently put you in that place.
whoa.
Or like ketamine or psilocybin.
Sure.
A strong disassociative because it takes you outside of yourself. You see yourself as one with everything. Then you can basically look at yourself from the outside. Totally change everything. But
Oh, sure. Well,
it's temporary.
I do that with
super temporary.
with just an everyday dream
And
you know,
meditation. Dreams.
and
I mean,
meditation.
because dreams, what makes dreams happen? Like I've
Oh, man,
heard
I
the
love
theory that
dreams.
it's basically a DMT feed,
It has to be. I mean,
or the theory that dreams is just alternate
how
dimensions.
weird do you want to get about dreams,
All
man?
the way.
Oh, dude, check this out. Did you sleepwalk as a kid?
I don't think so.
I
I have a couple
did.
sleepwalkers.
But I found that
Suerte coffee.
you haven't tried Suerte coffee brand.
It's easy to
So
make.
nice.
You brew a cup of coffee
Just
in the
take
morning.
some time.
You pour your coffee in your mug, put some creamer in it, then you drink it, 2/3 of it. Then you set it down because you're working on a project,
Right.
and you forget about it.
Yeah.
Then at about 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, you find 2/3 or 1/3 of a cup of coffee, and you say, "Okay, suerte," and you take a big long sip, and it feels
What luck?
strangely refreshing.
Absolutely. It's the perfect
And
temperature.
then you know that you're drinking suerte coffee.
Hopefully it was in a cool place.
Good to the last drop.
So when I was younger, I would sleepwalk. And I would have a reoccurring dream every time that I sleptwalk. To the point where I knew I was sleepwalking when I was having this reoccurring dream.
Are you would be sleepwalking and know you were sleepwalking?
Right. And at a young age, I developed the ability, I split it up into 3 parts. You have your avatar in your dream, that is your body. You have your sleeping body, and then you have your eye in the sky that's looking at all of it. How this all happened was my mom told me, she was like, every time you sleepwalk, you're crying. So what horror to my mother who was watching her child walk around, and to the advice of her doctor, don't wake him up. Just let him roam around and bawl, I guess. But when she told me that, I guess I had another attachment onto a physical engagement of my body while I was sleeping. Anyway, I got to the point where I could identify I was sleeping. Not only that, but I could temper down my adrenaline of my actual sleeping body to stay in dreams longer. And I was watching all of this. So I had kind of a trinity of identities that were all just examining this whole amalgam of a video at the time. As I got older, a lot of different lucid dreams and whatnot. Really neat, though, as I got older and started just like surfing the web about stuff, it started to conceptualize things that I already knew. I just never put words into it, which actually digressed earlier in our conversation, the whole idea of thinking something, but then a teacher comes along and helps you actually conceptualize it.
Are you saying that you learned in your dreams, in your lucid?
Absolutely.
This is incredible. Okay. And it just plays to everything that I believe to be true about the world.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Convenient.
So what's the earliest memory that you can remember?
Oh, man. Do you know those little tyke castles? Those like little Tykes plastic castles with like the fake fireplace, the picture of the fireplace. And
I mean, that rings a bell. Yes.
they were big.
I didn't really grow up with toys either, but I can that rings a bell. I remember that, something like that.
Oh man, I'm sure you drove by one at some point in your life.
I think I drove over one once.
Oh, that's awesome.
Probably. Anyway, Little Tyke Castle.
Little Tyke Castle in the basement of our house in Chicago. My brothers and I crawling because we put a plank of wood from the top of it to whatever bundle of nonsense that we had stored down there. And we were crawling over the top of this plank from a Little Tyke's castle onto this, I don't know, bundle of whatever, the artificial Christmas tree. I don't know what it was. That seems like my first memory.
You were born in Chicago?
Yeah.
Me too.
No way!
I was.
Dude!
Blue Island.
High five. Blue Island.
Yes, sir. Then my parents left Chicago when I was probably less than a year old.
See,
but I've been back.
Many of your listeners might know this history of Michael, but I do not really.
Yeah.
So, real quick timeline from Chicago to now. What do you got?
What? No, there is none. I've got just a trail of weird carnage. Fantastic.
A trail of weird carnage.
Yeah.
New band name, I call it.
That is a good band name.
Weird trail of weird carnage.
No, so basically cult, like traveling Christian cult.
Tell me about
Amish.
this. Should I just get like a quick rundown of this? Because we've never actually talked about this traveling
Are you
Christian
deflecting
cult.
because I was just trying to dive into your childhood?
No, dude, let's get to both of them.
Okay.
I'm just so curious, and I do not know about this
Okay.
traveling Christian cult.
Okay.
I've heard so much about it.
Carl,
Yes.
if you have questions, I'm going to do my best to answer them.
Excellent.
The cult was a spin, what came out of the 70s Jesus movement, which came out of the 70s rebel against the government movement. Whatever. It was led by a guy named Jim Roberts, who was an ex-Marine drill sergeant, from what I understand. I'm repeating things I've always heard. I don't know any of this firsthand.
Sure.
I do know the man well. I spent years of my life with him. But he was a extremely private, authoritarian, tall mountain man figure. And he had this puristic vision of that life is supposed to be lived as it is described in the book of Acts. So it's like basically taking the New Testament and making it literal in every possible way you can. What would a little child understand from this? And trying to oversimplify how you look at it and stuff. I mean, it was valuable training in things like faith and trust. Like the words of Jesus are incredible and powerful, and it's all about, I mean, he says things like, consider the lilies of the field, for they sow not, neither do they reap. And yet, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. And it's just beautiful.
That
It's
is
just
very poetic
fucking
and very beautiful. I like that a lot, indeed.
But when you take all of that and the writings of all the apostles and the revelation, apocryphal, what do they call that? Yeah. Not apocryphal. I'm sorry. That's the wrong word.
Apocryphal is a fun word.
What's the word for like post-apocalyptic writings, like end times? I don't remember.
Your revelations.
Yeah, sure. There's a name for it.
Apocalyptical.
Yeah.
No, that's what you write at the
I think
gym
there's
at
a
the
word
end
I'm
of
looking for, but
times.
it's an empty word, so I'm going to stop looking. Okay. So basically they just take off traveling. And actually, what episode?
Like tent
is
revival
it?
traveling?
No, just traveling, like hitchhiking, living like by twos and threes, because that's how they did it in Acts. They would travel by twos and threes to another city, and then they would preach the gospel, and they would have all things in common and live by faith, and all these things. So and every group picks out the verses that are going to be like kind of the banner verses and stuff like that. But so no attachment to society of in the world, but not of the world. No involvement politically. No involvement. Just renounce friends and family. Renounce past life. Acceptance of the epic battle between good and evil. It's God against Satan, and we are in the middle we are the pawns. We are the soldiers. We are the but then outside of us is this whole heavenly war that's waging, and everything we do in this world basically has to suck so that you can earn. I'm way oversimplifying it to the point of just making it different, but it's just like you sacrifice in this life so that you can reap the eternal reward of presence with God,
Right.
being with God, and not burn in hell forever. So anyway, and I did that off and on. My dad left and took us, and then until I was 15, then I joined the Amish. Did that for 4 years, and then I left that and went to India.
Huh.
I worked on the coast building houses for a little while. Got a driver's license when I was 19 because
Nice.
horse and buggy, you don't need a driver's license,
Right?
And that's what I oh boy, that just brings back a lot of memories. But yeah, dude, I was you've seen the pictures of the Amish boy with the straw hat out in the field with like 12
Sure.
horses in front of him and stuff. I did that. Like that's how I spent my early teen years. Just freaking, I can't even believe it sometimes when I think about it. But at the time, it just seemed like this is just what life is. What you do.
Right.
You're in
Yeah.
a cult, and then
Yeah.
you join the Amish, and these guys are different and fun. This is fun and new. And I'm editing my mom's episode right now. And
Right on.
yeah, and that's a project, and it's a labor of love. Definitely such an incredible thing. But she talks about how, because she went with me, left the group with me to join the Amish, sort of, not really, but physically that's what happened. And she was just like, yeah, and they were like so immodest and like Amish people, and to her they were just living on the edge of sin, just throwing their lives away. And because where she had just come from and had been for like 14 years or something, was so over the top of denying the flesh and, seriously, like, crucify your flesh. And like that was the verbiage that I was raised with. Take up the cross and follow Jesus, They just did it in a more authentic, more real way. So, I mean, to me, like that, obviously, because I'm a passionate chameleon. So it's just like,
chameleon.
I mean, if I'm going to be following the Bible, I want to be following actually what it literally black and white says. So it appealed to me in that way.
Good point.
And that was always a struggle. My whole Christian life was just being like, how do I correlate all of these things that just don't make sense? And anyway, it has to be something wrong with my understanding. And when you believe that, life is hard. But yeah, so then I went to India a few times. I was there for 9 months and taught school, worked at an orphanage.
Huh, cool.
Yeah. I had pre-KG was my class.
Pre-KG?
My youngest student was 2.5.
What?
That's 2.5. My oldest students were 4.
Huh. How old were you then?
20, probably.
Whoa, young.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, and that's what I did. Just like I sold everything I had, and there was a couple of people that sent me a little bit of money monthly just so I could survive, and that's why I spent my, I don't know. I was an idealistic person, and I guess I still am.
It's pretty neat,
Nothing has
man.
changed. Yeah, but then I left that, got engaged.
Ooh.
To my first girlfriend ever.
Whoa.
Anything.
Nice.
And one time we sort of held hands for like a few seconds. Did I say girlfriend? I'm sorry. I courted. I got into a courtship.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
No, nothing physical.
Courtship.
Nothing. That was my first experience with any sort of a romantic involvement.
So would you say the equivalent to you holding those hands kind of for a number of seconds?
It wasn't even
like
really a
first
hold
kiss?
hand. It was like we had agreed on something and shook hands. Like that was
What?
the extent
Oh
of the.
my God, that is
on
great, though.
on the
That's
other
good.
hand, she was like she lived on a ranch and had horses, and we would go like of a Sunday we would just go trail riding way back in the woods, and we would sit in the glade and just talk for hours, and it was so. And we would play music, record together, and play worship together, and I mean it was such a beautiful time. But I mean it was a biblical court, like it was a godly courtship, and whatever. And I didn't know any, like, to me, it's just, this is just what you do, like, and I saw myself as a horrible, broken, like somebody with an evil nature that had to constantly be subduing his flesh. So like, I literally, cause I'm a bachelor, off and on, depending on where I'm living, I go to a laundromat to do my laundry, and I usually take my guitar or something to, play some good Jesus tunes and stuff and mess around. And in the summertime, you see the girls in the bikinis and they're walking around and doing whatever. And I would not look at them. I wouldn't look. I would feel an overwhelming urge to look, but I wouldn't. It was just like, I knew that it was a line I had to keep because I had to hold my purity. I had to maintain my lofty position above everyone else. Like, that's really what it comes down to looking back. But it was hilarious because in looking back, I can remember that I would get a lot of negative reactions from that, because girls are used to girls in bikinis.
Oh, sure.
As much as they may act like
leave me alone, weirdo.
They're used to getting looked at. And I mean, what human doesn't want to be like appreciated? And so it's like
well,
we're all
careful with
torn.
the compliments, though, because we're still trying to maintain Adlerian's seesaw here.
Because we want it, but we also don't feel safe. So anyway, so then 3 weeks before the wedding, got called off.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was a big mess.
What?
It was a big mess. Took me a long time to get
How'd
over
you
that.
feel about that? Yeah.
I had no defense. I had no practice. I had no example. I knew nothing. It was just got my heart ripped out and no idea. So I immediately rebounded and definitely a lot more physical in that situation. That was my kind of first experience with kissing and messing around a little bit and stuff, and going a little too far, and then having like the spiritual authorities in my life, the kind of leaders in my life be like, well, son, you deflowered her, so now you have to marry her. And like, it was a huge stink, and it was just chaos. And I'm sitting there with my heart just bleeding out over my clothes, and my whole community is looking at me like this awful person, because what I realized finally when my head started to clear, is that I'm not in love with this person. Like this, it's called a rebound for a reason. And I had no idea about anything, but it just became too much. And so I just fucking picked up and moved to Montana, Kalispell, Montana.
Hell yeah, Kalispell.
And my previous fiance had been in, she had been in emergency medicine and stuff. Like she was super passionate about it. So that's where the fascination for that was born in me. So then when I went to Kalispell, I was taking, paying out of state tuition to get my paramedic license, basically. And I was working at a pizza place and working at a natural grocery store, stocking shelves, and just doing whatever I could and skipping meals. And I was renting this little room in a little trailer, just out in the middle of nowhere. And there was a couple renting the room next to me, and then there was a couple renting the pull-out couch in the living room.
Sure.
And the lady that owned it was just like this fantastic, like just the. How do I say this? What I'm feeling is the white trash stereotype. Like, hand rolled her cigarettes, talked like this. She just had that smoker's voice, and she just like had neon dragons inside the trailer, and like big beer signs, and just like and the people like the people renting the room next to me. The guy was probably 120 pounds at most. He was a very short guy, and he just looked like. In hindsight, I was super naive back then, but in hindsight, I would say he was doing meth or something. Like, I mean, it just looked too much like it. And his girlfriend was probably 350 pounds, if not more.
Sure.
And it was just like it was so visually striking.
Well, Jack Spratt.
But it was just the whole thing went together to just be like, I'm in some sort of a sitcom. Trailer Park Boys or something.
Wild.
And it was so enjoyable, and all the people were fantastic. Like, it was just a great experience, and it had its difficulties and stuff. But then I'm doing that, paying out of state tuition, working 2 jobs, missing meals. Everything's chaos. I'm making friends, but I don't really know anyone. Like, the manager at the pizza place I worked at tried to get me to smoke weed for months. Because that's what they would do. They'd all go out and party after work and smoke weed at his house and stuff. And I was just all like, well, I will never. But I would go to their parties. So this
is Kalispell in the early 2000s, in the 90s?
It was early 2000s.
The aughts in Kalispell.
Yeah.
Lots of those now
like
developed Montana towns were just like ski bum towns in the sticks.
Yeah.
I bet Kalispell in the aughts was really fun.
Beautiful.
Now there's like malls everywhere, and it's really weird.
Oh, still beautiful.
Oh, sure.
But then an Army recruiter called me.
Ooh,
and he's like, so I see that you are attending
an array of experiences.
You're attending, you're working on your paramedic license, and you're paying out of state tuition. And so basically that was his pitch. He was just like, join the Army. We will, as a medic, you'll get training that's way better than what you're getting right now, and you'll get paid to do it. We'll feed you. And you will experience things that you're never going to get on the civilian side. So I called up my dad that night, and I was like, Dad, what do you think? And he was just like, I don't remember what he said, but my dad is not like, he's like, what do you think? He'll give you his opinion, but he's not going to try to, like he's always let me go, let me decide and stuff. But then the next morning I called the recruiter and signed up.
Sign me up, friend.
Yep. And then I shipped out to
badass
Fort Jackson. Basic training, did that for 9 weeks, and then went down to Fort Sam Houston for advanced individual training, the medic training. That was 6 months. Then a contact from a year-long discipleship Bible school I went through. she was living in Corvallis. And so she was just like, and I would, because I'm a brat, so I'd call her at like 4 a.m, wake her up, just whatever. And we were just friends but she put up with me. And so she was like, why don't you just come to Corvallis? And I was like, okay, like, what else am I going to do?
So that was the link to Corvallis in Oregon?
Yeah, a Bible school in McMinnville. Yeah. And then
neat.
And then she worked at the place that my wife's parents owned. And so that's how we connected, and this family got started, and
Bravo.
Put my roots down.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the truncated version.
I like that.
Super
Thanks for
truncated.
filling me in, man.
I had to like row over a lot of deep memories, though.
Oh?
Yeah.
Any ones you need to go back at?
Hell no. Everything comes in its time. But no, it's just nice to just have an opportunity to think back, because I don't reminisce. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I love my memories and my past, and I hear some folks talk about how, oh man, I wish I was 25 again. And I was like, I don't. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for the person that I've become based on my experiences, but traveling back in time is not something that I think is a healthy attempt to do as a human.
Here's your second attempt to get me to start talking about time that doesn't exist.
Time doesn't exist, Michael.
That's a topic I'm going to dive into someday.
How do you mean by this? Because I've talked to people, clearly show up at 9. Okay. All right. But as far as the perception of time passing per one's thoughts,
what is
health?
What is 9 based on? What is the basis of timekeeping?
Oh, just the sun.
Decay.
Sure.
The ultimate basis for timekeeping is, what do they call that? Radio, whatever.
Activity?
No. Radio, carbon,
decay.
Whatever. It's decay.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's a time is
Half-life.
a measurement of
Yeah.
decay, aka change. In the world as I see it from my subconscious control center screens, what I see.
Subconscious control interface screen engage.
Now tracking.
Simulate human.
Time is just a series of this moment. So you're never going to get to the next moment. So
I love that.
You just never will.
Well, I mean,
whenever we get there, here we are.
Like the future is now. No, it's now.
But so is the past.
Future is now. It's now.
So
it's now. It's
our
now.
brains, because of the way our brains are wired and the way all of our sensory input, all the data collection that we do, the way that it works is that we have a 15-second lag where what we're seeing is kind of a compilation
Let's try
of
it out.
the last 15
Let's
seconds.
try it out. All right, let's have a 15-second pause.
Doesn't. Look, I'm talking about things I'm just diving into. Okay. This is, talk to me in years if you want to really get the coherent. But the concept is that one day.
What was that?
You didn't hear anything I said for the last 15 seconds, did you?
Time isn't a thing.
I agree with you.
What do you mean by
You've
last
just proven
15
it.
seconds?
Dude, we need to submit this to the field of documented proofments.
I'm just being a brat, but
You are.
I love the idea
Brats are good.
of getting rid of the whole what we've built time to be.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
The point is that in this series of moments, we have to perceive 3 dimensions in a way that makes sense so that we can survive. Just has to happen. And so the mechanics for that is that we see time as a flow. However, there's only ever one moment. And so the moment that happened before, the moment that's going to happen, and the moment that is happening now are all happening at the same time, just at a different point in the time structure.
Sure.
So
Time is just the word we use to describe what we
but it means something when it doesn't.
we can't fully grasp as far as our timeline goes.
But knowing that it isn't what we thought it was, knowing that time is not what I thought it was, changes how I see the world.
Sure.
And it gives me
Sure.
it gives me the capacity more capacity for joy. That's why. That's why I
well,
care.
there you go.
That's it.
That's good.
And it's also a triggering topic for most people. So fun to talk about. Oh yeah. Try to walk up to anyone. Try to be in an argument and be like, well, time doesn't exist. Try to say that to anyone and see what reaction you get. Trigger.
I mean, I love it. I hope more people ask me this because, yeah, the part of my brain, the part of my body, the part of my soul that just meanders through life does not need time.
Yeah.
It doesn't think about time.
It doesn't.
But
the part of you that's watching the people.
Yeah, doesn't need time.
Time doesn't exist to that part of you.
But we need to know what time it is to help us have an authoritative power over people or know when to be at a certain place.
The archetype of time, the concept of time is not only useful, physical life in 3 dimensions doesn't work without it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tool we use to go about our boring, crude matter lives.
I agree. Just like words are a tool we use to try to communicate emotions to each other.
Right.
Neither one of them do any justice to the reality.
So is there going to be a day, when do we graduate, where we can do the whole like Chakran thing, stranger in a strange land, and just interpret feelings through auras, whether they're slickened or not? I agree.
There are people that do that all over the world.
And I feel that sometimes. It's like you feel something. What's up? And how can I help? Are you sad? What's the matter?
I'm just chasing it. I know it exists. I know the reality's out there. And so I'm just keeping my eyes open for whatever is in front of them. And I see more and more and more and more and more as I realize that time doesn't exist. So I stop thinking about the future and stop worrying about the past, worrying about the future, being afraid of the past, thinking about those, and pull every scrap of my attention to right here, right now.
Absolutely. I'm totally on board with that because, and you can say some fun things like, oh, you've got to respect the past, but look forward to the future, but make sure you're paying attention and living in the present. Yeah, that's fun.
Comedy doesn't work unless you're drawing from the past.
Sure. But you got to be
safe
present.
From bears doesn't work unless you're drawing from the past. But
sure.
The brain cogitating on that past, that awareness of that past in your conscious mind doesn't actually have anything to do with the past. The awareness is happening here, and everything in that awareness is about here. So anything about the past that isn't just helping keeping me safe from bears and find where the berries are.
Right. It's learning what we do with the knowledge in the present can be homage to what we've learned in the past. But unless we're doing something in the moment that is using these vast reservoirs of data, knowledge, and love and perception that we've gathered, then
forgiveness becomes the easiest thing in the world when the past doesn't exist. From the worldview that the past doesn't exist, forgiveness and therefore joy, happiness becomes very accessible.
Well, forgiveness, guilt. Now we're getting into like your Christian, your Catholic buzzwords, that sort of thing. Even forgiveness, I've thought about in my elder age. And who's the forgiveness for? Yeah, I'm 65 now.
Wrong camera.
Right. So forgiveness, when one...
I'm going to say you're older than you look.
Forgives. Oh, it's because I smoke and drink too much and I sleep on my face.
You take care of yourself. Good job.
I just got to shave this beard off, man. Nope. It's coming soon, actually.
Hey, I'll take it for extensions.
I've actually been really excited about talking to you face to face. I'll beard it up in February.
Yes. Is that why you have a beard?
I've been waiting for this moment.
I think there's a song about that.
Oh, waiting for this moment?
All my life. I pray for someone like you. And I don't know this song. Thank God that I finally found you. It's a 2000s boy band or 90s boy band. Like
I don't know anything about those things.
I don't know. Yeah. Guilty pleasure for me.
Oh.
You put on some good boy band or like Britney Spears from the Oh,
hey,
yes.
Man, I love myself some Britney.
Get down with that.
So, you know what it is? I just figured it out. I was listening to Britney Spears the other day, and there's that cymbal crash in the background, that 98 Degrees, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, they use way too much in every one of their songs.
That's so delicious.
It's great.
It's like biting into a juicy hamburger.
Pop. Pop, pop. It's like the staccato emphasis they put. I don't even think it has rhyme or reason. I should count it out the next time I'm listening to Toxic. Pop, 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 pop.
I hope
Baby,
you do.
bye, bye. Pop, 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 pop.
I don't know.
It's the same
I
sound.
love all of it.
It's the same sound.
For like one song, and then
Yeah.
I'm over it.
They're like, oh, these guys are great. Let's keep using this sound. So the producers of all those tracks must have been like,
But
oh,
that was back when it was like the big things were a new thing, that type of a big thing. And so it's like, oh, this made money. And then you could replicate the algorithms over and over and over. And then till you couldn't. And so
Right.
now music's becoming what it is, which is fantastic to watch.
oh, fantastic. As in, instead of humans
It's all
trying
changing.
to figure out the
It's
new
all
formulas,
changing.
it's just robots
It's
doing
people
so.
that are sitting down in front of equipment they can scrounge together and they're making fucking music from their emotions. And they're being like, I don't really care.
It's neat.
There's nobody that made them.
It's neat.
Beautiful. It's lovely. And we're just going to see more and more and more and more.
I know.
And you're going to start your comedy podcast, and
Oh.
it's just going to be great.
I'd rather do the
Then I'll guest
engineered
for you.
music thing.
Engineered music?
Yeah.
What we explain?
Oh, like take all of the notes and words that were recorded in boy bands and Britney Spears and etc. and
Yes.
just put all of those sounds out on a keyboard
Hmm.
with each button representing one of these sounds.
Are you going to bring back boy band, girl band music?
Oh no! In fact, this is more of a parody, if you will, because honestly, there's only like 26 different sounds available after breaking
So
down
this isn't
all
something
of that
you
music.
actually want to do.
Yeah, this is me just being a brat.
Okay, fine.
Talking
So
about it.
podcast then, huh?
I don't know. So
Comedy cast?
So I admire you for doing a podcast.
What's your art?
Oh,
What is
man.
your art?
Art isn't a discipline that one practices often in order to improve the media of the world. What do you mean by art?
What is the thing that yourself wants to do?
Ooh,
Where
is
what
that
it-
how we define
what
art?
is where do you find flow state? I don't know, dude. You define art wherever you find it. I ask
All
the
right, cool,
questions.
cool.
Whatever the fuck comes out of your
right.
brain is what I'm after.
You're right.
Be like, well, wearing glasses, I would say, is my art. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm just
Yes, I have
curious what's
several
in there.
pairs.
You have like a whole closet for glasses, don't you?
I wish. Only got like maybe 10 pairs.
I did not sense sincerity in that wish of yours.
I mean, that would be gratuitous.
Really stupid.
There's a point where too many glasses are too many. And even at 10 glasses, that's a little too many because I can only wear one pair at a time.
I have a question for you, Carl.
What's up?
What's your art?
Man. I mean, what I'm defining art as is something that
I don't care how you define art. I want to know what comes out of the deep part of you when you hear the question, what is your art?
I'm going to be super easy, man. It's not deep at all. I think if I have any type of art to offer to the world, it would be poetry. However, I do like the idea of one finding art as interacting with humans on an everyday basis. However, poetry is more introverted. And I consider myself an introvert that has to be extroverted all the time.
Hmm.
Hey man, I wish I had a more poetic art to share with you, but I think that's it. Maybe just being in the world, actually. Now that I think about it, like just being a part of everything is art,
Carl,
right?
okay. Number one, too many things.
Should I be taking notes?
This is so great. Number one, I just want to point out the irony of saying Let me see. Let me paraphrase. Let me cut this down.
It's the intro extra thing, huh?
Words. No, that's item number 3. This is item number
Whoa.
1. My art, I believe my art is poetry. I wish I had a more poetic art, but
I thought that was funny too.
okay. That was intentional.
I wouldn't say it was intentional, but I was very
because if
pleased
that was
it came
intentional,
out.
man, that was so sly. Anyway, okay. I fucking appreciate the deadpan art that is so subtle that you just about can't get. Like, that is my favorite kind of art.
It's all
Dry,
interpretive.
sarcastic, deadpan, subtle. Anyway, okay. Item number 2 is shit.
Shit?
I can't remember item number 2.
Oh, I thought item number 2.
Okay, no.
Wait,
Item number 3.
number
no,
2
I
is
know.
shit. Very
No,
funny.
item number
Michael.
2 became item number 3. Item number 2 now is
I was never really a big fan of poop jokes, man. Always just like a
you're making me forget my train of thought
not my
multiply.
favorite.
This is not a good trait for a
solid number
podcast host to
2.
be able to forget his thought.
I wish I could help you.
I
with
wish you
this.
could help me too.
All right, so we talked about how funny it was, how uproarious we both laughed over saying that I wish my art was more poetic than just writing poetry.
I guess I do have that question about being introverted.
Introvert,
what is it?
extrovert.
Why do you see yourself as being an introvert? And why do you see yourself as being required? You said I have to be.
Oh, that's the job thing.
I have to be.
That's the job thing. I would say, yeah, there's a point, hopefully, that one day I wouldn't have to have a phone. I wouldn't have to be as plugged in. And I'm not even plugged in. Like, honestly, the reason why I keep looking this way is because there's a camera here.
True.
And I feel like that's the closest camera to me. So that's the one that I should be paying attention to.
And you can feel it breathing probably in your ear almost. It's like
Is it?
right up over your shoulder. If you were reading something or typing something,
Oh.
it would know what you, it's like intrusive. To be over your shoulder feels intrusive to a human.
Huh.
Mhm.
I didn't really think intrusive.
Well, I'm just making that up, so I could be wrong.
But for whatever reason, this one,
Yeah.
I just don't even see this one.
I don't either. This one neither of us see.
I'm at my most peaceful
Alone.
by myself.
Okay.
However, whatever traits that I've built up to interact with the world and to earn an income to be a part of the world require me to be extroverted.
Would you feel peaceful permanently by yourself?
Probably not. And I don't know because I've never really had an opportunity to see what that's like.
Well, like all words, introverted and extroverted are empty, and you're on the spectrum. So, but it's fun for me to just see how your brain sees it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I hope you're getting a picture of it.
Yeah,
Where it is on the quadrants.
Not only am I, but I realized very recently that I am not at all the extreme extrovert I thought I was.
Huh.
And now one of the most valuable, sacred things for me is just the quiet. And I don't need to be alone,
Oh, sure.
but I need quiet.
Quiet.
I need to
and-
have the option to completely disconnect from everything going on around me. It can keep going on. It doesn't bother me at all. And I give myself that option. It's permission.
Sure.
It's permission granted for me, but it weirds people out. When I go into zombie mode, because I seriously just disappear. Like my eyes will be open and I'll be sitting there, but I don't know what it looks like from the outside. No one's ever.
I actually
whatever,
appreciate
but-
that because it does. When I say I would like that peace, that it's like it's not loneliness, it's solitude. I mean,
Yes.
I don't. It's not like I must be alone. Like
Yes.
I'm doing something
Oh, that makes perfect
in
sense.
solitude that's different from what I would be doing if I was sitting next to Nicole on a couch and we were just zoning out to some tube.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But that's not a peaceful place for me.
But
It's an
you use the
entertaining
term
place.
unplugged. I think is that common anymore, where people just need to kind of shut down, go into hibernation mode for a little bit of time to focus, meditate. Well, that's what meditation is, isn't it?
I think that it's something that's biologically necessary for humans, but
I agree.
I don't think that almost any humans do it. And then we just have medications to cover up all the
Right.
symptoms of that we aren't just being. It's like everything goes into peripheral vision. All my senses go into peripheral mode. So I'm literally seeing everything that's happening. I'm hearing every sound. I'm experiencing everything that's happening in the room, and I divide my attention between it. So all my spotlight, because when you're looking, I'm looking at you right now and I have a spotlight vision and I'm not even thinking about my periphery. It's two different visions. Same with hearing, same with touch, same with all of it. You turn off the spotlight mode by looking inside.
Yes.
Focus on breathing, whatever it is. For me, I have a sound that comes out of the center of my head. That's like this. It's like this dancing. It's like this dancing.
Opposite of that, then.
Dude, it's insane.
So I just learned something by talking to you. Thank you.
I go to the center of that sound.
Introvert, extrovert, these are archaic terms. I guess that's just the only terms that I have to describe what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think it just comes down to the fact that I just need to meditate more. Extrovert, introvert, who cares? You are who you are. You feel how you feel. You are what you do, what you do.
In meditation, you literally pull up to the fuel station.
Yes. You got to refill the soul meter.
Yes.
Yeah.
The energy meter, whatever you want to call it.
So I guess I wouldn't describe myself as anything, Michael.
Well, and you did get there because what was the thing you said about when I said, what is your art? And the final thing you said before we went into all the tangents was, I guess just being in the world, really. And my friend.
Well, why not? Isn't that great? Just
yes, it
being
is.
a part of it all.
One of my favorite things to say in an intro to this illustrious podcast is because the name is emotion art.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And one time it just occurred to me, emotion, because that's what we're made out of. Humans are made out of emotions, and art because everything that a human wants to do is art. As in,
call me provincial, but this is the first time I've connected with you asking the question, what is your art?
You appear to be provincial.
Emotion
to me.
art.
Yes. Do you feel provincial today?
You provincial beast.
Oh, it's like that. Excuse me, could you please
call me
cut
provincial?
Down the provincial a little bit?
Provinciality?
Typical provincian. That's a question a provincial person would ask.
I think the next time I use the term call me provincial.
Is provincial synonymous with Karen?
I'm going to insist that I'm called provincial. Call me provincial.
Continue with your thought, provincial.
Thank you. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Sweet. So what do you want to talk about?
You were in the middle of a fucking thought. Are we starting? Are we scraping?
Well, where
are we
wiping
digressing?
The whole thing? Are we sidebarring?
Usually. Most of the time. We may have come to the end of that. And if that's the case, well, honey, we've got a whole main track to get back to. Which is no, fuck no. We've already we're beyond that. We're clear.
We cleared Adler?
We cleared it. We cleared that. But there's no clearing it, dude. I'm going to be rereading those books a couple times. I actually want to do a whole episode.
Horizontal. We're clearing it all the time.
It's easy to jump over, but I want to do a whole episode on these books with Angela. Angela and I were talking about this because she's reading them too. And we're just like, why don't we just talk about them? So we'll see. But I want to start doing that with a lot of books. So maybe that's going to be a thing.
You should.
But
Book club
you were born in
episode
Chicago.
Right.
I'm just curious for a little bit of the same treatment where you just give me a little brush through of what brought you here.
I would love to, but I also want to sidebar this by saying we have both lived in Chicago, Montana, and Oregon.
What? Montana's fantastic.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Oregon's the best of all of them.
Did you ever live in Alaska?
I have. I went there for work.
Did you ever live in Wyoming?
Been through there.
So that might be the one. Well, I'm sure there's plenty.
I have taken the Greyhound. I've been at the Cheyenne bus station many times. Like I haven't lived in Wyoming, I don't think, like as in a one domicile, but
sure.
I spent enough time there.
No, I'm just curious. As I've lived in Oregon, I've found lots of people who have some roots or tethers in Montana, the Midwest, lots of places. Lots of transplants around here.
Tennessee.
Shoot, I've only lived here for 5 years. Going on 5 now? No, 4. It'll be 4 in June.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
That's very sweet.
It makes Oregon just a little fractionally better. Truly does.
Hey, Oregon's awesome.
Give me the little.
Don't need no.
Give
fractions.
me the little rundown. Give me the little timeline story.
Yeah. All right. This is Born in Chicago, Year of the Dragon, 1988. 5 years of youth, from baby to toddler. Is toddler still a 5-year-old?
Sure, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know. Everyone develops at a different rate.
Oh, sure.
I've met 30-year-old toddlers. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Dad divorced, or my mom divorced my dad, moved to Wyoming.
We don't need to lay blame.
Whoa! Grew up in Wyoming, but spent every summer in Chicago. And then when I did my first year at the University of Wyoming, I ended up spending time with my grandmother in Chicago. So I went back in my early 20s. I can't really say I lived there full time, but I was definitely where I called home, like my place, like base camp. Got a little too difficult to stay away from schooling, moved back to Wyoming. Unfortunately, she passed away shortly after that. Went back to school, worked up in Alaska for a while on some fishing boats. After that, lived in Bozeman. And then when I got priced out of Bozeman, I moved to Philomath. Boom!
You've lived
Did
in
I get that in under 2 minutes?
You've lived in 3 places.
I would give myself Chicago, Wyoming, Montana, and Oregon.
4 places.
And I would say that's it. I'm not going to count Alaska because it was
5
never
places.
Had home there. It was
But
just
it counts. But it counts. I got people in my family that did that for a while. I never worked on a fishing boat, but
yeah.
So how does all of that feel to you? What does your growing up experience feel like overall? What was your experience with it?
Growing up?
Sure.
Great. It was fine. How do I feel? I'm gonna have to feel about this really quickly because I love the mantras, and I do the whole you feel how you feel. Don't be guilty or apologize for however you feel in any moment.
And also, why analyze it?
Right.
Just be you.
I don't. I don't have.
That's a good
strong
response.
feelings about anything that I've ever
just
done in my life.
You were kidding it up.
Hey, that's
Hold
call
on
me
about
call me weird and
anything
cynical, but
you've
it's like
ever done in your life. I'll bet we could come up with 1 or 2 things that you've got strong feelings about. Or maybe that's a statement about yourself now more than maybe you've had things.
Hey man,
where
I wish the term dispassion. I wish the term dispassion did not have a negative connotation tied to it, because I do find myself a dispassionate person. This doesn't mean I am or don't have emotion or compassion for people. It just means that a lot of the times it's just to zen out and be.
When you are displaying intense, colorful, riotous passion in all of your interactions in front of a crowd,
Riotous
on a
passion.
stage, when you're on a stage, is that fake?
You know, I've not been on a stage in a long time.
You are, my friend, on a stage every day.
I wouldn't consider so.
But you're in front of people in the way that I'm using it. I'm using it to describe being on a stage. I'm using to describe your
actually
customer service, like all of your interactions.
Because I would not consider. I have not been on stage in a theatrical sense in a long time. It was very blissful, and it was more of a practice than anything.
Being on stage was blissful.
Being on stage.
Which
but
is why
what I
you
do
seek it in your
now,
everyday life.
I know it's easy to say, "Oh, that's a stage you're on. You're on a stage," but I don't consider that a stage.
Okay.
It's not.
Let's use a different word then.
But you actually hooked into something here that I hadn't even thought of. Perhaps I repressed it. Yes, just like acting and being a part of the community theater. And yes, now I volunteer for the Majestic, which is great and fun just to be a person contributing time to. But because of my job and that fake stage I'm on, I don't have time at night to actually be blissful and act.
What did you say your art was?
Poetry.
Interesting.
So do I have a dormant art and I've just been doing poetry just to compensate?
Well, since we've already established that it's everything.
Oh yeah,
It's a moot point. But I'm just like, I see your eyes light up. I hear the timbre of your voice change as you're talking about acting.
It's been a while,
I'm
man.
just like, honey.
It's been a while, dude.
Why? Get up there.
There's a euphoria that I have only experienced reading an audience that is there to watch a play that they may know or not, and literally keying your emotions and changing emotional color literally for the entertainment of people who are sitting there in a dark room with a bunch of other people.
And that I would think of like that to me feels like the distilled stage experience. That's the spotlight. But you walk around in life on a stage. Like I interact with you anytime that you're emceeing, that you're at the Dirt Road Street Party. The times that I see you, you're on a stage. Hell, my friend, when you come over for a party, you have this flair. You have this theatrical element. You're always
very kind, Michael.
So, but yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, there you go. That's cool. It's something that
you are an actor. It's just the way it is.
It is true.
And you are. I freaking love to watch it.
But I wish I didn't have to like
fucking
act
funny. Oh my god.
Every day.
Yeah.
Acting on stage in a theatrical sense is one thing, but acting.
You mean, okay. I mean, I don't want to challenge you talking about how you feel inside, but I also do.
No, what do you got?
But you don't want to be trapped in a system where you have to trade your time for money, where you have to do this job to get money.
It is
than
a tough concept
being on a stage, because what I see of you is, yes, there's this whole meditation side. There's this whole
acting
quiet
on stage
side.
is very meditative. But
you feel like, because you use the word fake because I asked you if the acting that you do, and by the way, I'm still talking about the word dispassionate. The thing I'm talking about is dispassionate. And
dig it, yeah.
And you are not at all dispassionate. Like unless you are somehow able to fake passion. You have so much passion. It's probably not the passion you think of when you think of passion, but it's emotion. It's a life bubbling out emotion. It is passion.
I'm not saying that. I do have a lot of emotion. I do feel a lot of people. I love feeling people's feelings. I love when people share feelings. But again, dispassion is just a net zero, like, focal point.
I just don't think you're talking about dispassion. Can I suggest a different
without
word?
Passion is yes, please.
I don't see you as someone without passion, and so
Well, dispassion doesn't mean without passion.
It literally does, though.
Webster.
What?
I knew I needed to bring my dictionary for this.
You can pull out your phone.
Dis. What does the prefix dis mean? Phone.
Without.
You can't. A phone's not a dictionary, man. Without passion. Okay.
Dis. Well, dis is when you, like, in a rap battle. No. To me, dispassion means without passion,
Man,
but
so
I don't know the etymology exactly.
Without passion.
Without passion.
Without passion. So
can I just suggest
Zen dispassion?
It probably depends on who you ask. If you're looking at and the word Zen is it's a religious word, basically. It's so everyone has a different meaning for Zen. Zen doesn't mean anything. The place.
I think I need to come up with my definition for dispassion.
I have a suggestion for another word. But talking about Zen, what I think of as Zen is a place of profound passion, because I disassociate from everything happening around me and sink fully into myself. I'm still aware of everything happening around me, but it becomes the background. It's flowing through. It's like the whole thing is water. I'm in water. And I'm feeling it all around me.
Dispassion too is that state where everything's washing over you.
Passion, the chaos of passion that I'm just feeling, but I have become the observer. So I'm not acting on it. I'm just watching it, and it's just fucking beautiful, and it goes wherever my thoughts go. But so I'm wondering if instead of dispassionate, I feel like you are a very accepting person.
No, I don't like the use of the word accepting.
I want to use the word surrender. That's what I want to do, but it would take so many words to explain what I mean by that.
Because of surrender.
So I'm trying to use the word accepting.
I like accepting.
Because the accepting person, when you step into this, now we're back into Adler. Holy fuck, dude. We're straight back into Adler.
Right.
But
It's been
the
our log line the whole
acceptance
time.
is not dispassion, but when the Western culture hears, like I say, I want to live a choiceless life, and they hear, I don't care about anything. I want to just zone out and become a whatever. And it's like, that's not at all what it means.
Well, when I say dispassion, I mean that there is no outward or inward impression that is changing the way my center interacts with the world.
That sounds like acceptance to me, my friend.
Okay, hey, acceptance is a way better word.
Because you, my friend, are not dispassionate. I stand to be corrected because you know you.
Sure.
But I'm going to pretend like I know you.
I like using... Hey, man, we're getting there. Both born in Chicago, bud.
We've broken bread together.
Yeah.
Fed the loaves and the fishes.
We were
Have we
on
eaten fish
a
together?
podcast once.
I can remember that far back. That's about how far my memory goes, though.
That's good times.
I don't remember much before that.
The future is now. It's now.
So,
It's now.
you accepting artist.
Sure.
So
Again,
then,
very, very kind. So
then you dispassionately
now,
came
is
to
my
Oregon.
Illyrian seesaw raising in elevation right now? Because if someone told me an accepting artist, I would find that as a compliment.
Probably. I don't know.
But you know what, Adler, it can't be. There's got to be spikes in emotion here or there. Instead of keeping it on this horizontal plane, can't we allow for a little seesaw?
Since you're talking about spikes of emotion, I just have to tell you, every time I hear the name Adler, unfortunately, I think of Rattler.
Rattler?
And then I'm imagining a rattlesnake. I don't even know why I said that, but it is what happens in my brain.
Rattler.
Because I live in an epic fantasy where my brain is telling a story about everything that's happening around me all the time.
Adler,
And there's
Rattler.
usually dangerous creatures and magic and knights and
Sweet.
freaking who knows what. Tim.
This is a person named Tim.
Tim the
This is an
wizard.
entity named Tim? I don't know Tim.
Tim the wizard.
Is Tim in the room with us right now?
Probably not. He's guarding the whatever thing, the bridge, and you can't cross it unless you answer his 3 questions. What
Tim.
is your name?
I'm Carl.
What is your favorite color?
Fire engine red, baby.
What is the airspeed velocity of an African swallow?
No idea. Oh, is this where I say?
No, this is where you
one or
say
the other?
laden or unladen, and then Tim goes flying off the bridge instead
Oh,
of.
Tim!
Come on, it's Monty Python. I'm just
Hey,
quoting
man.
Monty Python.
I love Monty Python, but you know, I've tried to watch Holy Grail a
Carl.
couple times after I saw it the first time, and I can't make it through.
I'm disappointed.
In?
Nothing really, actually.
Sure.
But we are going to watch Holy Grail eventually together.
Ah, that's fine.
It's going to be hilarious.
It's probably gonna be.
Because it's the most quotable movie of all time.
Is it?
No, but it is very quotable.
What's the most quotable movie of all time?
Fuck if I know. Let me think. I probably quote that as much as anything else.
Sure.
I don't know.
You know, I don't quote movies very often, but I do quote the Office television series often.
That is very quotable.
Yeah.
Plus, it's
in
just
fact,
awesome.
I really hope nobody ever finds out that half of the things that I say are just quotes from The Office.
The other half are quotes from other things.
Actor, what can I say?
You can't say anything original. It's all quotes.
I wish I could just have one original thought in my life.
We'll work on that. I'll see if I can help. You know, I know some people. I could probably work that out for you.
We should.
Yeah. Original thoughts are good.
So what do you want to talk about?
Oregon. So you come to Oregon.
Oh, yeah, Oregon. Oregon's the best place in the world. I love it. The ocean's awesome. Salt life, baby.
Are you here for good? Do you see yourself here long term?
I think so. There's nowhere else I want to go.
And you're working at the freaking most hopping place in Philomath
Oh, it's the dopest, man.
that throws the
illest.
best party in the surrounding countryside with the most incredible pageantry. No, I'm making that. In my mind, it just became a Renaissance fair. But anyway, it's the Dirt Road Street Party, and it is epic.
We should
And it
involve
has,
a Renaissance fair aspect to it.
you're gonna have to get that one by the decision maker. Maybe you could trick him into thinking you're a decision maker. Then you could get it by him.
I have an idea.
I think he likes red, white, and blue.
We get a block of vending booths, 3 in a row.
Ooh.
And just build whatever we want inside of it. It could be literally 30 by 10 square feet on the street. And when you walk in, you're in a Renaissance fair.
I like the idea.
I need to credit fictional character Ted Mosby for not being able to pronounce Renaissance in any way than Renaissance.
And always self-reflecting about these things.
Indeed. I mean, one thing that I've learned from you and yours over the years, do you remember our wait not, want not conversation? Because there's all these people who are like, waste not, want not. And then I think you or Andrew were like, wait not, want not. Because
sounds like a conversation we would have.
In a certain sense, like, why wait? If we want a Renaissance aspect of something that we're all a part of, let's just do it. Why are we waiting?
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Okay. Well, instead of going down that road, how about
Renaissance fair?
Between one of the bands, have the whole music kit left set up, and I know a fantastic teenage band. Give them a song, 2 songs maybe, but anyway, a song. That would be a lot easier to pull off than a whole Renaissance setup. But both would be fun. Anyway, food for thought, ideas.
Wow. I've never been to a Renaissance fair.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, there's 2
so what you're
really
saying
good ones around here.
Is kind of beyond my conceptualization.
Oh my goodness, Carl, we are going to be going to the Renaissance fair next summer.
Renaissance fair?
Renaissance, yes, sir.
Dude,
there's a really good one up towards Portland in Canby. That's it, but it's a little bit more mainstream and it's way bigger and it's so good. But then the local one is the Shrewsbury Fair, which is out west of here, actually, out in Wren, I think so.
When's this?
Towards King Valley. Late, whenever it's the hottest it could possibly be in a sun-soaked field.
Oh, good,
scorching.
Yes,
but they have.
Sounds like last year's.
It's so worth
party.
it. It's so worth it. They
Sign
both
me up,
have
man.
jousting. They
Gotta
both
take
have
it off now.
It's so great, dude. Renaissance fairs are such a time to step away with no stress or pressure. Unless you have little kids, then it's all stress and pressure. We just realize that we're just going to lose one every once in a while, and
sure,
they always turn back up. It's great. Yeah. So you're pursuing, you're working in your daily trade, your time for money life. You are doing stage work. You are doing in front of people work, maybe not on a stage per se, although every Dirt Road Street Party, you are on a stage. Does that feel sublime? Does that feel that feeling you were describing before? Are you going to pursue acting? That's what I'm trying to
Hey man,
get to here.
I thought by now that I would be able to pursue it a little more. And it's not like I'm trying to get rich or famous off it. Just want to do it at nights. But
it's what you want to do.
Yes, I'm very grateful for my opportunities to be, as many would say, on stage at work or on stage hosting these parties or on stage however you've seen me. Mm-hmm. But there is something much more sublime about script rehearsal with a group of people acting showtime that I just haven't been part of in a long time. And who knows what I'll think about it if I ever get back into one.
Mm. And you don't feel like you have time to do it right now? Is that why you're...
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, that's why I said you don't feel like you do. You speak in a lot of definites. Like you're like, I can't do that. I have to do this. And the truth is everything you're talking about are simply choices you're making.
It's true.
Nobody's telling, because that what I want to ask every time is says who's making these rules. But and it's also bratty. It's the bratty side, because also like at the end of the day, you have to be like, well, bro, I don't have time to do everything. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But that's why I ask these questions, is because I want to know, why aren't you doing it? Because you have one life to live. Why aren't you doing it?
I do understand and appreciate everyone who wants to impact people's sense of urgency into accomplishing their bliss. But man, right now everything's washing over me and I'm still working on it.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt that I will achieve the pinnacles of bliss that I have in the past. And even if I don't, it doesn't matter. I got it. I know how that feels to be there. And
this is why I wanted to talk to you.
What?
Because that's what that's your worldview. That's the world that you're looking out of a window that says, what's the hurry? Everything's good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm happy. Everything is good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And do you know how rare that is?
I'm discovering it's rare.
Yes. Is that how your whole life has felt?
Kinda. Like there's been rarely a moment where I thought,
what do you attribute that to?
I don't know, man.
Your upbringing. I mean, you didn't have like you're between everywhere, but I don't know. That's why I was asking you, what did your upbringing feel like? Nothing.
I wish I could answer that question with a little more specificity.
Brah, you are answering them great. Every one of them.
And sometimes I feel like there could be a little more eloquence when someone's like, hey, what's the secret to happiness? And I can't say anything more than just be happy. What's the problem?
Secret to happiness is
just be.
Do not prolong the past. Do not hasten the future. And do not fear appearances. That's all there is.
And live in the present.
Do not fear appearances.
Do not fear appearances.
Because then you can live in the present as you. Because every single person around you that's judging you and doesn't like how you're doing things, you don't give a fuck because you don't fear appearances. And all the things that happened in the past, you don't give a fuck because you're not prolonging the past. And everything that's going to happen in the future,
I love it.
You don't give a fuck because it doesn't exist. And it will never exist because when you're there, it's going to be the present.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, oh, this is what this is. So now what? Who am I? That's the question we're always asking.
It's just so much easier. It is what it is.
What are you afraid of? I mean, you're all Mr. Dispassionate here. So let's see you shoot this one down.
Fear?
What are you afraid of, Carl?
Afraid.
I want to know your deepest, most visceral fear so I can use it against you.
I don't mind sharing. Let me see if I can think of one. Nothing's coming to mind.
Perfect. You're afraid of nothing. Are you saying you're fearless?
No, I'm afraid of things.
It doesn't really count. Like
I'm
the fear
of things.
The fear of splatting into the ground after you fall off of a 1,000-foot cliff. Like that doesn't really count. That's a biological fear. Do you have any existential fears? What happens to you after you die?
Oh man.
What's the point? Why are you here? Oh wow. Who cares? Who cares? You don't care what happens to you after you die?
I mean, I guess I do, but I have no control over it.
Do you?
I think I don't know, man. I think it's going to be cool. Even if I'm just getting eaten by sea creatures. Which when I die, just throw me in the ocean. Anywhere in the ocean.
Now who are you talking
Salt water.
to?
Sorry?
Who are you talking to?
Oh, anybody. Tim.
He's not a genie. He doesn't fulfill wishes. He just lets you pass or not, depending on how you answer his questions.
There is I can't say I have any existential fears where I ever have a breakdown in happiness thinking about something that might happen in the future.
Were you raised without religion?
Oh no, my mom was very devout. It's the Catholic thing.
Oh,
man.
You said that.
Raised Catholic.
How did you avoid Catholic guilt? Did your mom have Catholic guilt?
Oh, big time. My poor mother. Yeah. God.
How did you avoid it?
Rest her soul.
I mean, and you may not have a opinion about that.
You know, at a certain point, I saw a lot, and this was when I was a young man, and maybe dreaming helped with it. I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. Maybe dreaming helped with it. Thank you for bringing that back up. That is so interesting.
At a certain point, I made the cognitive decision that nothing was going to hurt me anymore. And I was like, you know what? This is not going to hurt me.
How old were you?
8? 7?
How does a 7-year-old come to that? How?
Well, it was actually a physical pain.
Dropped on your head.
No. There was a moment where, with my family growing up, I mean, we were spanked and stuff.
Word.
Right. And there was one time where for something that was so dumb. And I think about it, and like if it happened in everyday time, I think like we broke a doorknob on the basement door. And that was bad. And my stepdad had spanked Thomas first, and he started crying. Man, we were young. 7, 6, 8, around there. And I remember just going, what's the point of feeling this pain? Because it's not for anything. It's not worth anything. It's not good energy. Nervous energy, like you can still take and put it into energy that you can use in a positive manner. But I just thought it was like guilt.
Yeah.
Phantom guilt. There's nothing you can do with that.
Nothing.
It's literally just a cloud that is hanging around your temples all the time.
Like quicksand.
Yeah. And you don't need it. It doesn't do anything for our survival, for our future, for the present, where we are. So I just stopped being it. Just stopped.
You know that meme about quicksand? Like quicksand is such a big deal in the movies, and then you become an adult and you're just like, wait, where's all the quicksand? Like, you know that meme?
Yeah.
Bro, quicksand is all just an allegory for guilt.
This is so funny too. Interesting. This is a sidebar.
Princess Bride is starting to look more different now.
My brothers and I would try to manufacture quicksand pits on our property.
Because you were boys.
Yeah.
How many brothers did you have?
4. Shout out to Phil, Thomas, Stephen, and Timothy.
Hey guys. They sound like cool cats.
Actually, Stephen's in town now.
Now, next time we record, we'll get one or all of them, and we'll just talk about because I'll bet you every single one of them is just as laid back as you, aren't they?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
You're connected with them. You have good relationships with them.
Absolutely.
Fuck yes.
I mean, not like I'm not calling them every day.
No, you guys don't have sleepovers and
no.
Well,
we never send each other gifts or anything.
What? Like the little thing where you tap your Apple Watch and it like makes the heartbeat go. Mm.
See, what is this? People keep like having these watches that like pay things, and
the person that you want to be asking this question to is Bonnie.
Bonds?
She loves the Apple Watch. She can answer all these questions. I tried it and I hate it passionately. However, I think that the times of having a phone in our pocket is probably not going to last for as long as we think.
Cool. Because that's why I carry like the most low profile phone, because I don't even feel I have it on me. I asked somebody why they wear the watch.
Yeah.
And they pay with it. And that I asked them and they said, it makes me feel younger.
Mm. Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. They're using modern technology to vicariously live through what I guess they think is the norm.
Let's turn in our Adler text to chapter 14, verses 3 through 7. I wonder what Adler would say about that.
What would Adler say about this?
It's probably that is a person who never learned to be self-reliant, and so they have to get those feelings from outside of themselves, from something, and it's fantastic that they found something like that.
Hey, I was a brat about it. But when they told me this, I was like, you know what? Awesome. You go live your dreams. If you're finding that this is doing something for you, then I'm all about it. I'll never wear one.
And if you have to sit down and philosophize,
I can't say never say never, right?
If you can't help yourself but philosophize every single thing people do, you need to ask yourself, what's wrong with you?
Well, I'm joyful in people's joy. However they can
I like that perspective.
Figure out how to walk around on planet Earth.
Thank you.
And other planets soon.
Because the planet Earth needs people
walking around.
Or this themselves. Wearing a watch, if that's what they want to do.
That's it.
Just.
In fact, that became a mantra, joyful in one's joy.
Getting a nose job, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah. I used to have that thing where, hey, I want to get a nose job. Like, why would you do that? What's the point? People love you who you are.
Yeah.
But
having long ass hair like a hippie, if that's
why am I the person Get your nose job.
Wear your long ass hippie hair.
Wear your long ass hippie hair.
Wear
Are
your
you thinking
glasses.
about a specific person?
Me? No. I didn't have anyone in mind. I'm just free associating. It comes from like the ether, actually. I have like this funnel channel.
Oh, yeah.
Ether.
Well, it's the cone growth of life. Like as you, when you're a child and you start perceiving things, you're at the tip of the cone.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you grow, your perception widens. Therefore, your reception of perception widens. So you can actually picture the shape of your perception as you age as a cone, an upside down party hat, expanding into infinity. And yours apparently is over your head as a funnel, funneling in all these cool ideas and stuff.
That's a fantastic description of emotion art. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
A funnel cone.
Funnel cone of perception. Also sounds kind of delicious. Like
Okay, I want to ask you. I'm just going to cut you off. Whatever you were saying is not as important as what I want to ask you.
Sidebar it up.
No, it's not a sidebar.
Oh.
Well, all of that was sidebar.
Oh, right.
Because I'm still stuck on the art thing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And Carl,
Yeah.
here's why.
Yeah.
You're a funny fucking guy.
Aw. Seesaw, Adler, seesaw. Careful, man.
I'm better than you, so I can praise you.
Okay, good. See?
Yeah, it's okay.
Equilibrium reached.
Someday we'll have a horizontal relationship, but right now,
Okay. Yeah.
I'll praise you.
That's fine. We'll put it on like the third rung.
You have a type of humor I very much appreciate. So it's something I notice a lot. And I guess I ask because I'm just, okay, so here's what I want to ask. Have you ever thought about taking the shit in your weird ass brain and everything you described about the theater, think about it, plan it, rehearse it, and then make content to put out on a global platform that you can access at any time that you want, in any way that you want, and the world is full of billions of people.
Can we do that?
That's literally the thing we can do. No matter what else is happening, everybody has access to it. Everybody can be platformed within 5 minutes if they want to. At least if you have a phone in your pocket, that's all you need.
I haven't thought about doing that.
It has never crossed your mind.
No.
Not. I mean, in a real way. Like, okay. Can I ask you for a favor?
Yeah. What's up?
Can you just think about it?
Yeah.
I would
Please let me do so.
I would subscribe to whatever the hell you put out. I would love it. And I would love to watch that progression.
Oh, I thought you meant think about the question to see if I've ever thought about it.
Oh, no, you did not think that.
I did think that.
Okay.
Because I was going to like sleep on it and then
let me
call you tomorrow and be like, I actually do have a better answer now.
The think on it is a little longer term than that. I'm saying
I understand now.
The world is not terrible. It means well. I think the world deserves to see whatever the fuck you would put out there. I think the world deserves it. I think it's ready.
You think
so? I think
so?
that kind of joy is something the world deserves, and I would love to see it. So that's why I ask. And you may never have an answer for it, but you can never say I didn't plant the thought.
Well, no, it's good. I get it. And I've preached to people like, hey, what do you want to do? What makes you happy? Then every moment of your waking life should be devoted to that thing, right?
Yes.
You know,
I have also preached that.
Always walk toward what you want. But I've been okay, cool. So no one's actually challenged me before. So thank you, Michael, to be like, hey, man.
Oh,
what up?
You may be misunderstanding what I'm doing. So I think that you would love it. I think it would be transformative for you personally, but that's not why I'm asking. It's because I want to see it, because I know that it would be fantastically entertaining. And also, I'm a member of a world that's starving for joy.
Huh.
And
maybe I need to get out more.
We are front row witnesses to AI.
Yeah.
It's inevitable at this point. One of these giant corporations that's throwing all this money into it is going to finally, somehow something's going to coalesce. We may not even know what happens. Maybe it's happened right. I don't know. But this is what AI is going to be. It's going to be the sum total of the entire content of everything on every computer that it is able to access and eat. And that's what's going to form its personality.
Right. I mean,
if you want to call it that, we could just get into all the words and stuff.
No,
and so
you're right.
one of
start
the
acting.
reasons I'm doing this
Not
podcast.
acting, I mean, bring to action. Yeah, you want to contribute to the overall knowledge that the grand AI brain and being that will eventually rule the earth, their persona, you'll be a part of.
Close.
And if you don't contribute to that, you're not going to be a part of that future of humanity.
It doesn't feel like I won't be a part. Everything you do that makes one computer interact with another makes you a part. You look up porn, you are a part, because that's an interaction that this future AI will eat, and it will become part of who it is.
Like, won't the AI eventually just like take this conversation?
Exactly. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing this
Our
podcast
work here
is because
is done.
when I open my eyes and look around me, I see a joyful universe. And I would like to do everything in my power to make sure that when AI opens its virtual eyes, it also sees a joyful universe. And B, the world is full of people who deserve to see a joyful universe when they open their eyes. And so I want to just put out into the airwaves, into the internet waves, an idea that surrounding us is nothing scary. It's just a joyful universe. It's a love story.
I love this idea.
What are you worried about?
I have a learning moment here because of that dispassionate log line that I've lived with.
Yes.
Oh, accepting log line.
Thank you.
Accepting log line.
Or acceptance.
Acceptance log line. There's kind of a laissez-faire, like the peripheries of this aura that is humanity. Just, it doesn't really matter. But you know what? If we can point the arrow of motivation and the personality when this AI opens its eyes, and we haven't contributed as much as we want, then we're going to be the only ones to blame for being left out. It's like childhood's end, Arthur C.
Who's going to
Clarke.
blame anyone?
No one will know.
Only person that can blame you, Carl, is you yourself.
It's true.
I mean,
Right. Well,
everyone
that's what
else
I
will
meant.
try off.
That's what I meant. But in what world is this AI?
In what
opening
world
its
is it
eyes
your
and we're still
responsibility
around?
as one member of a hive of billions of units? How
Right.
could it possibly in any way be your responsibility what happens when this AI, supposedly, whatever, opens its eyes or whatever the fuck that is? Because the truth is, that's already happening. It's happening.
Oh, sure, yeah.
In this conversation itself, in everything
Indeed.
that every programmer does. It's all just an inevitable movement towards whatever's next.
It is true.
Call it AI, call it whatever you want.
Yeah. Singularity.
How
you feeling, man?
that felt so good.
So what do you want to talk about?
I'm doing it.
Dude, thanks so much.
Sometimes the communication that happens in between the words is the fucking coolest.
Oh, yeah. The pauses.
Okay. I have another question for you.
Do it. Get more comfortable.
Suerte coffee.
Suerte water. Suerte agua.
Okay, suerte.
Pero
Ooh,
que sí.
what's coffee in Espanol? Café. Suerte. I can't roll my
But
R
I
very
think
well.
if you said coffee, they'd
Suerte.
understand what you were talking about.
Suerte café.
Te gusta suerte café?
Me gusta. Okay.
Cool.
I'm going to stop pretending like I know how to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
When I was 5, yes.
You could pretend you knew how to speak
I knew
Spanish
how to
really
speak
well.
Spanish really well.
Oh.
You know, that's what people tell me that knew me back then. Supposedly, I spoke Spanish and English equally because we literally lived in Mexico.
Oh, right on.
First, like, we'd go down there and, you know, in the winter, travel south. And sometimes we'd end up in Mexico City.
Did you ever go back to Mexico?
I've
never
I cannot wait to go back to Mexico. Is this enormous place with every type of environment and openness and people and culture and wild horse herds roaming over the grassy mountains right outside the village. Like there is so much beauty and huge metropolises and everything in between. And just the real people that are just Like in this country, we don't realize in this country how bubbled everything is. Everyone has a personal bubble. Everything's bubbled. You step across these borders. Now you're in the, Canada and Europe and stuff. And there is some decrease in that personal bubble, but you're still in that Western world, that bubbled up, hypoallergenic, prophylactic, everything's clean and sanitized and whatever. And of course, but anyway, the rest of the world embraces your senses. Personal bubble, what?
Yeah, I've actually really liked that about other cultures. Is just plus, I actually appreciate it when I meet someone who doesn't seem to have a personal bubble, and it actually helps in like the restaurant biz and whatnot when you have to have a conversation with someone or you're sharing a really tight space to operate. You always give people their space, of course, but I do find it very refreshing when someone is like gets right in your face to talk about something.
Yes.
I think it's cool.
And I give people most of their space. I always try to push it just enough to bring out that little bit of uncomfortable that brings out the real person. Because all of a sudden you're like, wait. And then the real person, the masks that you use to tell everyone else who you want them to see kind of slip. And I am there to see it. And it's so beautiful because what's underneath those masks is always achingly beautiful.
Sure.
So beautiful. Even if the person with the masks believes the masks have to be there because it's all hideous, it's still all beautiful. All of it. That's why I find a lot of benefit in being bratty.
I love being a brat, man.
Word.
Yeah.
As a brat. Or not a brat. As a human.
Human with no
definition.
Every now
with
and then.
No definition.
Some fun. Yeah.
There's an imagined future where you find yourself with the knowledge of your imminent death. What are you going to say to the world?
Dying words?
Dying words. What are the words that would be the ones you'd want to say?
What's up?
You think that's what you'd say?
I hope so.
You'd quote a cheesy sort of horror movie. Isn't that what that's
This
from?
is what's funny. Is
what movie
there's
is
a whole
that?
generation of people that think its origin is from Scary Movie.
Yeah.
But Scary Movie
Oh, that's right. It's
actually
a parody
got it
on
from
something else.
something else.
What is the something else?
It's an old Budweiser commercial from the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Beer commercial.
Carl.
Quote me whether or not it's Budweiser or fact check.
No,
But I'm pretty sure it's just one of those dumb 90s Budweiser commercials.
Carl. All facts.
What up? Yeah, what up?
I'm gonna look up because that's on YouTube.
Look it up.
Oh, of course I will. And Angela, being the editor that Angela is, she's gonna put it in the show notes. I'll link
I
it.
hope so.
It is just gonna happen.
What up?
Just trust me. It will.
What up?
The problem with trusting me is I'm a human, and so I am fallible, so I could let you down. But still trust me. 'Cause
No,
it's fun.
I have no expectation.
It's fun. So you're going to stand by that. That's going to be the thing you say to the world.
Stand by it. I just don't have anything.
In this moment. Obviously, when you get there, everything's out the window. But
Right.
that's what you're imagining in this moment. You'd be like,
I wish I had something profound to say, man.
but if you don't, that's the answer.
I don't.
What's up? It is.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah,
What up?
that's great. Do you have anything else you want to say right now?
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, sometime I think it'd be really cool to sit down and just do maybe draw out a little bullet point and do just a little piece on Dirt Road.
I think we should.
I really like Dirt Road. I think I love Chuck's vision. I love why he's doing it. I've talked to him enough to do it. And what I would like to do is I'd like to sit down with Chuck.
Yeah.
I think he'd probably be open to that. I don't know. We'll see when that time comes. But
he misses you guys.
okay, so then why don't we sit down at Dirt Road in a time when it's going to be a little, pretty slow.
Yeah.
Rope in whoever the fuck we want. Do like a little live, like almost treat it like a live stream thing where whatever.
I think it's a
You wanna
brilliant
try?
idea.
Carl,
Let's
I'm
set
ready.
it up, man. You tell me when you want to do it.
I'm ready anytime.
I'll let you know.
It's going to take a little bit of forethought.
a little.
Just a little bit, just because of Practicality,
Well,
logistics.
we don't want it to be a crazy busy time.
Probably not. The date that when Angela and I just stopped in there, that would have been.
I know.
Can you imagine
that
if
was
we had
perfect.
recorded? If we had been recording.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to just if a time comes to you and you're like, hey, we don't have much going on. This is probably going to be about that type of thing. We'll set up a little thing that whatever you have, I'll bring. I'm mobile. You say the word.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Weekends are so busy for you, so it has to be during the week.
Be great.
I'm basically it's going to have to be a day off for me. We may have to plan ahead. I may have to take a day off. I would love to do that to just spotlight Dirt Road because I freaking love that place. And most of the people that listen to this podcast are in Corvallis, Philomath, Albany, and Portland. So I think that everyone who listens to this podcast deserves to know how otherworldly the Paradise Pig pizza tastes.
It's pretty good.
No, it's incredible.
It's pretty good.
Pulled pork.
Have you had the Royal Navy yet?
No. I found Paradise Pig with extra pineapple and extra cilantro.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Now you're talking.
I'm feeling a little
Are you
hungry. I'll bet you there's dinner up there at the house.
Oh, you're...
Shall we curtail operations and go in search of some vittles?
Yeah, I have no idea what time it is.
I can look on here and see that we've been recording. Guess how long we've been recording for?
I'm going to say 1 hour and 52 minutes.
2 hours and 24 minutes.
Whoa!
Yes.
Dude.
1 hour and 54 minutes may be a prophetic end result after all the editing.
Dude, that's a long time. I will say I did skip like 2 15-minute chunks of your conversation with Bonnie, but like the last hour of it was great.
Yeah, that's fine. Those
I'll go back to it.
and it's just a story. It's a worldview.
I love it. It was great. I
think that Bonnie's
was going around the house just doing chores, and while I was doing my thing, I was just listening to the conversation, and it was great.
Fuck yeah. And Bonnie's talking about being ready for round 2, which I'm super excited about.
Heck yeah.
Possibly with Mary or Angela or maybe both of them co-hosting.
Right on.
Like we're just like, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Okay. Carl, thank you. Thank you
my
for
pleasure.
Thank you for your time.
Indeed,
And-
my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me on. You know that I have nothing but fondness in my heart for every one of you and your family's endeavors. So to be a part of that in another instance, I am grateful.
Above all, I am thankful for your openness, that you're willing to sit down here and, to whatever extent, let the whoever you are come out. And I don't think that's hard for you because I think you do that most every day. But I really, really fucking appreciate it. I appreciate you. I look forward to watching whatever the fuck development happens as you step into your artistic acting, whatever self. And I say step in because you're obviously already there, but I just appreciate you. And I look forward to future conversations and everything. So thank you.
What's that?
Let's go eat.
Do it.